ideas?
Do I have ideas for what? For what to talk about?
Yeah.
Oh no, I never go in with ideas.
I have an idea.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, okay. This is Michala's show today. We're just gonna let her run this. I like that. Damn, brings coffee and is prepared. Wow,
Coffee
she's
and
making you look bad,
content.
Dustyn. Okay, what are we going on?
I was just going to ask about the whole, if you've been seeing it, it's like all over on social media, so I don't know how you miss it. The whole Kim Kanye
I
fiasco.
have been somewhat. I have a cursory knowledge of what's going on.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
He's being a psychopath.
Yeah, it seems like he's finally like losing it.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
been like.
I think he's been losing it
I was
for
like,
like
I mean,
he's been
yeah.
gay forever, but
for a while. But I think, well, like, what was, because I know that, like, Jake and I have been talking about it.
Do you want to do me a favor? Just pull that a little bit closer.
we're going.
Yeah, we're already
we're on.
rolling. We're
Come
going.
on,
What
man.
are you talking about?
Is that good?
Yeah.
Jake and I have been talking about it, and we've been talking about it, like, at my work and stuff, which makes sense. And just the, like, the mainstreamedness of, like just the abusive behavior and stuff, where it's become part of the fact that people are like, oh yeah, it's just Kanye. But it's like, if stuff like that, like what he's been doing and acting, is like stuff that happens to people in relationships, like on the regular, and people aren't like aware of the fact that it's abusive or anything like that. Like, he's telling his fans to like yell at Pete Davidson and like scream at him and things like that and make him uncomfortable, which is her new boyfriend, which isn't okay.
He's calling him Skeet.
He's calling
too.
him
What does
Skeet.
Skeet mean? I see that and
I don't know. I
didn't
think
get
he's
it.
just trying to be like, who are you talking about? This is my friend Skeet. It's not Pete. That's what I think he's
Oh,
trying
my
to
God.
do.
And he sent her a truckload of flowers,
Yeah.
right?
Which I go back. I go back and forth with that. Like, it reminds me of when like Cardi B and like Offset broke up.
Dustyn, are you following
no,
this?
no, she lost me.
It's
So like
Cardi B and Offset.
a year or
okay.
two ago or whatever, like Offset like cheated on Cardi B or whatever.
Oh, I do
And then
remember
he
that.
like showed up like at her performance and like showed up while she was on stage, and he was like, "Take me back. I fucking love you." And
That's
like
tough.
with all
That's
these
tough.
with all these flowers, and like I feel like half of the people were like, "Yeah, that's how you get your lady back. Good on you, dude." And the rest of everybody was like, "Don't fucking do that." Like, that's not okay. But I was just, I've been thinking about it a lot.
So he's just really making the attempt to try to get her back.
But in not a constructive way, though.
Mhm.
Like, that's the issue, is like posting your
Like
private.
a nuclear way. It sounds
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
he's
posting
just
your
Telling people
converse.
to beat up Pete.
Yeah, well, and
the
then he even
flowers.
put like in a new verse on a verse in one of his songs, like something like, "I'm gonna beat Pete Davidson's ass," like straight up. Like, you can't.
I don't
do
see
that.
Kanye beating up anybody. I
No,
mean,
neither
Pete's
do
not a
I.
big guy, but
Neither do I, but like that's besides the point. But that's just been it's been on my mind.
do you think that is
And I wanted to see what you thought
abusive?
about it.
I don't know how I feel about
Because I
that.
felt like that we were gonna be on opposite sides, and I was ready for it.
I don't know. Do you feel like that's abusive or toxic?
I think it's stupid.
I think
I think
it's-
Kanye's an idiot. I think Kim. I don't know. She's not my favorite. Pete Davidson seems like a funny guy. I like Pete Davidson. But Kanye just seems like really petty about the. I mean, I know very little about it. Sabrina's more into it, and she's just like, "Look at this." I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But there was a TikTok that I actually sent her. It was like, for some reason, Kanye was on my For You page, and it was
Just
like
prepping for this
it,
moment.
it was
Yeah.
it was
He knew I was coming.
it was his account, and it was Kim at like an award show or something like that. I think it was just like one of her last marriages, and she's like, "That's not why I divorced him," or something like that. And then it cuts to Kanye's I ain't saying she a gold digger, and then it's like his music video for that, and it's like he released. I'm like, dude, like, you got nothing better to do than just to
Right.
do this. I'm like, there's so much more things you could be doing. Like I don't think you guys had the greatest marriage in the entire
sure.
world, and you're acting like it was. And so it's like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
got-
think anybody was like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
what I
like-
aspired
It's
to.
a healthy relationship.
I feel like any other, a lot of other musicians would like take that pain towards like their music and make like a good album or good music or something like that.
For
And
sure.
I don't think Kanye makes good music anyway. So
Yeah.
He's got a couple good songs.
He's got a
I'll give him
couple.
that.
It's
but
not
it's
my-
Kanye is Kanye.
Kanye is just like an icon at this point. Like, it's not like that's just what I don't think he should. I don't know.
I told
And he's a
Sabrina that
little-
it seems like every time Kanye's not in the headlines, and as soon as he starts to kind of like die down a little bit, he does something extreme.
He's
to
like,
bring
"All
him
right."
right back up. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
he
like, let's
just-
try this.
He's always got to be in something. It
see
seems
how
like.
it goes.
My favorite video of Kanye is him. It's 4 a.m. He's walking to his car, and the reporter's like, "What's up, Kanye?" He's like, "Hey, fuck you," and he just keeps going. It's like, Jesus. All right. I don't know. On one hand, it's Kim and Kanye.
Right, and so, but I think that's like the problem is that
People are
it's-
just writing it off.
people are
because
just
of that.
writing it off because it's Kim and Kanye, and like my thought process and like people that I'm like friends with and stuff because we've talked about it is like if like we're condoning, or I mean, what are we gonna fucking do? Like I can't do shit about that situation.
Yeah, we're not stopping
No,
Kanye.
I have no
I don't want to
power.
be presumptuous. I don't think he's listening to the
I don't think
podcast.
he cares
Yeah.
about what I have. I know he doesn't give a shit about what I have to say. But like the issue being that like we're seeing these things play out but not understanding like the fear that can come along with those things. And like Kim has plenty of fucking money to like protect herself, you know, all security back,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But then like the people that like you and me that are like in abusive relationships and like having these kind of harassing whatevers like on a day-to-day, like don't have that kind of protection and aren't being like believed or thought that it is like, because it's like emotional and mental abuse is what like that would fall under, but that's so much more harder to categorize and to get taken seriously, which is like it's almost as if like you, or this isn't how it has to be, but it feels it within society and like the criminal justice system in particular, like if you don't have bruises then you're fucking fine, which is not how it should be. Because like emotional and mental abuse and stuff like that is just as harmful, if not in certain cases more harmful than physical abuse, because the bruises are going to go away, but those feelings that that person has put on you and in you are going to be, you know, a part of, you know, how you're going to proceed and stuff like that. But
That's fair. I never
Yeah.
in a million years would have dove that deep into it.
Yeah.
But like I'm
Just
I
over
mean,
here like, yeah, I don't.
but
Kim and
no, like
Kanye.
that's a good point. Like that's definitely well said.
Well, and if you took a step back and it was just an average couple going through this, and the guy was, you know, constantly hitting up his ex-wife and
Mhm.
sending her flowers and sending her text messages and saying, "I'm gonna beat up your new boyfriend," it would be a problem.
for sure.
But because it's Kim and Kanye,
Yeah,
and,
and
they're
that
so in
sucks
the
too
news,
though, is that like that sucks too, is that from their you know, from our perspective it's like, ah, well, you know, you're fucking famous, so
Suck
you
it
know,
up.
yeah, figure it out. Which sucks too, because that's not fair to her either, or her, you know, her kids or anything like that too, because they're, you know, her oldest is like 8 or whatever,
I
but
don't even know. She has so many kids.
she has
now, doesn't
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah. But I just like refreshed my Kim knowledge today when I was talking to my coworkers about it. But like that sucks too, is that it's like, ah, well, you're famous, so like nobody gives a shit. Or like we're not, you know, nobody's gonna take you seriously or like here to help
especially
you, which sucks
her.
because she's still a
Yeah.
person, you know. But I probably should have like waited to talk about that until
No,
later.
that was a strong start. I just don't know enough. I know that he's been sending her flowers and doing those things.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's Kim and Kanye.
Mhm.
And especially it's Kim. Like she's had
Right.
relationships in the past that kind of blow up in
For sure.
fireworks like this before. And it's Kanye who, you know, the running meme is
fucking
Who
Kanye's
just
off his
is
meds.
fireworks. That
Yeah.
dude just is.
Yeah.
He's just always
Yeah. And so part of me wonders, is some of this tied to publicity? Is there any of that? Which kind of sucks because
Yeah.
it is their relationship and their lives, and it seems like it could be chaotic.
Right.
But I don't know. You
Yeah.
kind of reap what you sow, but that doesn't justify it.
Correct. Yeah, and
You
I think the other side of it too is like not only like the mainstreaming of like abuse and not taking it like seriously, but then on the flip side we have like there are some serious mental health issues that are happening.
Kanye seems off the wall.
that
No, he seems
Yeah.
like
He-
he's been like kind of unwinding himself for a
For
long
sure.
time, and now it's just kind of just like, okay, well,
And that's the other thing too is like I don't want to be like, oh, I feel bad for him because like he's making some wrong decisions. He's making some wrong choices
Some
and
very
like
public
some
wrong
very yeah, some
decisions.
very public wrong choices that's good. You can't backpedal that at the, you know, at a certain point. But like, and I don't believe in like if you have like a mental health issue, like there are plenty of people that have like mental health issues and all kinds of stuff that don't go and do crazy shit and are, you know, functioning and want to be a functioning part of society. But like that sucks too, is like, hey, if you maybe, you know, took some medication or, you know, tried to really think about it or, you know, took some time, maybe, because I'm sure you don't feel good either. Like this can't feel good.
Is he actually off his meds, or is that what
I don't
everybody's
know.
just saying?
And
Okay.
and so that's what I don't know. But like, because I can't imagine that like if you're going through like a mental breakdown and reacting that way towards somebody that you used to love or do love, and I'm sure he still loves Kim, like you can't feel good about that like while you're doing it. Because I know like when I like if I've gone through like a spiral or something, like if I'm doing something toxic, I'm like, this is not good, but I've already got the momentum
The
going,
ball's
so I
already
got
rolling.
so I gotta double
I
down
gotta
now.
see this through.
Yeah, but it's like I
Yeah.
don't feel good about it. I know it's not okay, but I'm in it now and I've doubled down. So
Yeah.
here we go.
You put them aside, it's crazy how like you can have just your average couple who just like at one point was the happiest they've ever been because they married each other and decided to spend each other's lives together, and then all of a sudden they just hate each other. Like,
Yeah,
well,
isn't
not
that
all of a
weird?
sudden, but like they end up just like hating each other.
I think to
like,
the public it feels like to a public relation or not like a regular relationship, and then to
Mhm.
their friends and family it's like what the hell, but it's like, oh, this has been building. Like you're
That
not in the
public
house.
persona.
Yeah, you're not in the house on a regular basis. Like shit has been hard, but then like when it all hits the fan it's like what.
well, it's just like a celebrity relationship. Like I can imagine like that's got to be hard, just
Yeah,
because like
you're in the public
they're
eye.
always super busy. You're always super busy. Somehow, I guess, you know, they have 4 kids they got to take care of or whatever.
Right.
So, like, you got to fit that in. And then it's like having to fit in, like, your career, whichever, like, whatever it is, your family time, your time, like, your downtime, like,
sure.
any of the side projects you want to do, seeing your friends. Like, I could, you know, just any celebrity you could think of. Like, I'd imagine it'd be hard to deal with.
For sure.
But then, yeah, a lot of people are just, you know, celebrities. They got a bunch of money. They don't have to worry about their problems. Like, do they? Well, they still got problems.
Yeah,
Like-
right.
And something tells me those two do not have thick skin. Just going out on a limb to say that. So all
Right.
the shit that gets said about them, you know that has an effect, that
Right.
it weighs on them.
Right. For sure.
And
I
them
mean, even if you
constantly
do
seeing
have
that.
thick skin, like if you're in the public eye all the time, like you're constantly
Thousands
getting
of
shit
people
on.
have an opinion.
I mean, like you're getting a lot of hype, you know, a lot of hype and love from like the people that you know are in your corner, like your fans and stuff like that. But you're getting like probably half of it is or more is like just shit.
I bet a lot of people are supporting Kanye through this right now.
Yeah.
Saying, "Oh, do you
Good-
keep going?
good on
Win
you."
her back, save your marriage."
Which
Just
is
like-
so which is like what I've seen too is that like or a friend of mine posted and it was like, no, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson aren't seeing you laugh about Kanye's antics, but like the other people in your life who have gone through like emotional abuse and stalking are, and it's telling them a lot. Like I don't know.
I think the last big thing that I can remember Kanye doing was like when he was, I'm gonna run for president.
Oh,
year,
God.
like whatever year it was, and I'm like, dude,
Mm.
shut. I'm like, shut up. Like I don't understand. I'm like, well,
Kanye for
why do you
president.
do this? Because and there's people out there who would just vote him in because they think it'd be funny to vote
What
him
is
in.
it,
It's just like
2% of people or whatever like vote fucking Mickey Mouse every
Yeah,
year for
so-
president. Like they
yeah.
just write it
I
in.
didn't know that.
I think it's lower than that, but it's a good chunk of people enough that they're like, hey, just by the way.
Mickey Mouse, honorable mention.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mickey Mouse beat out Kanye then. That would be sad. You need to reevaluate your life if that
If a
happened.
cartoon character
Yeah.
gets you.
I don't know. It's hard because we don't know what's going on in
For
the
sure.
relationship.
For sure. That's
But-
just my 2 cents. Not that anybody gives a shit, but that's just been I've been thinking about it because I was like, I wonder if there's an idea, and I was like, I got one.
Do you think that it's doing more harm than good, it being this public facing?
I'd say for sure. I'd say,
It seems you get the impression that Kim kind of wants to reel it back and have it be
For
a private
sure.
matter. And
I think
Kanye
so,
is
and
like,
I think
"Fuck
that's what it
that."
should be. I think because in my as a child, your parents are together.
Yes.
Are your parents together?
Mhm.
Okay, as a child of divorce, then at the table,
Qualified to speak.
Yeah, I will say like so I was 2 when my parents separated. I have 0 memories of my parents together, but having to go back and forth and stuff like that, and having the your dad this, your mom blah, 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 whole fucking shit, and just like my two families that would sometimes, clash, or there would be conflict and I'd be put in the middle. Even that on such a small, like the smallest scale really you can have, is so hard on a kid, and it's really, really stressful. And so I can't even imagine, like, I know, like, their oldest North, like, she's aware of the fact that they're famous, like, and so I can't imagine, like, how that's affecting the kids. And that's what I like, kind of where I come from too, of like anybody that's going through divorce. Like, I get that, like, y'all might hate each other now, and like you want nothing to do with each other, but like try your best, like, if at all possible, to be like as amicable and civil as possible, if not for you guys, like for your kids, because they're seeing all of it, and it sucks to see like two people that, whether you remember them together or not. I don't, but I know that at one point my parents loved each other, I would hope. um and it sucks to be like, these two people that came together and decided to make, like, have me and stuff, fucking hate each other. And then like they talk shit about the other, and it's like, okay, wait, but like I'm half of you and I'm half of you, so you're talking me? Like, I'm also part of the it, and like kids process it all differently. And I can't imagine that he's gonna co-parent well, or he's gonna
Nah.
keep his mouth shut about mom when he's over there. But he bought a house across the street, so they
I
just
know,
have
how
to
crazy. Did you know about that? Bought a house across the street. I did hear about that.
He bought a house across the street from Kim.
Yes.
Directly across the street.
That's
I
tough.
think the house
Directly
right in
across
front,
the
right?
street.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
tough.
Across the street.
That sucks. Like you can't even get
You
a
can't
restraining
get
order.
away.
I
You
know, what do you
can't
do?
go. You can't get away from
my house
him.
is only 200 feet away. I can't.
You
I
can't
be
get
farther
away
than
from
that.
You're
him.
gonna have
What,
to
you
stay
get
in the
like a
back bedroom and
25-foot
all,
restraining order?
You just see him up on the roof with binoculars looking in the backyard.
And that's terrifying, not only for her, but then like for the rest of the family, all of the Kardashian clan, whatever. Because like, that they're going to get wrapped up in it, because they're, heavily involved in each other's lives, obviously. And then, the kids have got to be confused. And
I guess the question is, does it make a difference if it's not threatening? Because Kanye's not going to hurt anybody, right?
I mean,
think that's
I don't know.
You think
I think he might hurt himself before he hurts anyone else.
Yeah, I could see that.
For sure.
Right.
But I mean, I don't. Who knows what it'll actually end up doing?
Right.
But I mean, it's just like I don't think you can necessarily rule it out that he wouldn't
For
hurt
sure.
anybody.
Yeah, I don't think you can rule it out with anybody. Because, like, I think that, the best person with the best intentions that you've known your whole life can fucking snap. Like,
Yeah, he could go even more sideways.
but I don't even think that it's that necessarily, that if there's, like, I don't think that it should be the end all be all of, like, is there a physical threat? Do you think he's going to harm you? No. Well, then let's not worry about it. Because it's like, whether or not he's going to, like, physically harm anybody or anything like that, even if she's like 150%, like, he would never fucking touch me, she's still getting, let's say theoretically, she's getting 20 plus text messages a day. That's fucking taxing on your mental. And that's not fair either. Like, that
I would
shouldn't.
die if 20 people just decided to text me.
Right. And there are people that, while, they broke up with their person or whatever, and they're like, you thought you were getting rid of me? 100 phone calls. Like, back to back to back to back to back to back. Oh, you blocked that number? Let me download another app that I get a new number. Back to back to back. You blocked that number? Oh, let me get a new one. Like, it's so fucking stressful.
It's not that simple just to like block it. Especially,
No.
well, I mean, it's not that simple when it's just one-on-one, like in a relationship, because then someone can do that. But like, you definitely can't do that anyway. Like, it rules it out because they have kids together. So it's
Right.
like that just
You
definitely
gotta talk to him.
Yeah, definitely rules it, and it also rules it out that he bought a house across the street.
Yeah.
So
Right, he's right
That
there.
doesn't help.
He's right there. And even if he didn't, he knows where everybody fucking lives. So, like, even if she was like, I'm gonna go stay with my sisters, he's like, haha, know where that is. Like,
Yeah.
And
her being her, or Pete Davidson being Pete Davidson, it's like they can't go buy another house just out in any town because it's gonna blow up. So he could just get a spot
He'll
across the
know
street
where
from
it
that
is.
spot.
Right.
It's just like
Yeah, he's got the money to do whatever.
well, they're big enough and he's big enough that they are gonna cross paths all the time if he really wants to keep harassing him or whatever. So
100%.
because no one is just gonna like let Kim Kardashian live in Eureka and then not post about
Right,
it. Like,
and
that's
nobody's
not
gonna
that's
know.
not gonna
She'll
happen.
That's
live
not
here
staying on the
incognito.
profile.
It's not gonna happen. So it's just like, and
Kim, I keep you anonymous if you wanted to live at my house. Nobody
Just
would
see
know.
Michala blowing up on Instagram. Oh, I'm here with Kim Kardashian. I think it's hard because on the one hand, you hear about him doing that shit and you want to laugh. Him buying a house across the street, the roses.
Because it's
funny.
like fucking absurd.
It's like, who would do that?
It's like, no. For real? Like,
It's comical.
So I get that point of it, but it's like, but also like if you step back and look at it, it's like, that's kind of spooky.
Yeah, and the crime junkie in me from all those fucking podcasts.
Yes.
You hear about all these women where that's how it started,
Mhm.
and then they just go missing.
Exactly.
Or like
and
they love you so much they hurt you.
right.
Yeah.
If I can't have you, nobody else can.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so I also seen a couple of posts of like if OJ Simpson had a Twitter and an Instagram back in the day or whatever, we would have seen this escalation.
That's a wild thought.
Or we very well could have seen this escalation because he was doing very similar things of like, oh, let me just stop by your house. Let me give you a bunch of phone calls or whatever. You're not going to let me in? I'll fucking break the door down. How about that? Like, but we didn't have so we didn't get to see that unfold. It was a behind closed doors sort of situation or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
this is just out in the open.
Yeah. And he's taking advantage, of the fact that everybody can see it.
Yeah, it's just like, if she wanted to get a restraining order, it's like, I don't know what the lengths are to go. It's just like, he owns a house across the street. So it's just like, I don't know if you really make the guy move because, maybe make the guy move.
I don't
If like,
know.
if he's like harassing her and she gets a restraining order or whatever and it's successful or whatever by however many feet it is, like, he might have to move. Because, I mean,
He wouldn't have to.
no, really?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
I mean, I really didn't know, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it seems like,
You can't make if there's like neighbor disputes and stuff like that, you can't make your neighbor. I mean, like if you work with your landlord and you're like, hey, this guy's fucking like harassing and like beating me up all the time, like, can we evict him? Then maybe. But like if he's got his own house, I don't know how that would work.
It'd be
yeah,
hard
I
to
don't, I
kick
don't,
somebody
but like
out.
I feel like a restraining order too is just like,
It's just a piece of paper.
Is she trying to do? Yeah, those really don't.
Which
help,
sucks. Like
yeah.
I hate to be like it's just a piece of paper, but like the benefit of like the restraining order, I don't know necessarily for her case, but like the benefit of a restraining order for like people like me and you is like, okay, you might still call me and like show up to my house and stuff all the time, but I can call law enforcement and say, hey, I have this restraining order. He's violated this, and this. Make reports of all of this so we have a paper trail. So if, God forbid, he ever beats the shit out of me or hurts me or something like that, and it's big enough to rise to a criminal whatever, and we take it to court, we can say, hey, for the past 5 months, dude's been violating the restraining order because we have documentation of it. That's like the best part of it, although it's like really like it feels super futile after 20 calls to the cops and they're like,
Yeah.
we can't, he's not there, we can't do anything. He's, we can't come and get him. But that's like the biggest benefit, I guess, of a restraining order is like, hey, paper trail. But, after so many times, people are like, I just fucking,
It still doesn't.
I'll just wait till he
Yeah.
kills me, I guess, like, and hope that he's unsuccessful.
yeah,
is
because they still want to
basically,
get to you. Like, there's no, like, if just
If they want to,
They're
they
not gonna
can.
get
yeah,
away
just
from
yeah, just because there's a piece of paper saying he can't go near it doesn't mean he's not gonna still walk across the street and go knock
Yeah.
on the door. So
Yeah.
Is she thinking about doing any of that?
I don't know.
Restraining orders?
I wouldn't blame her if she tried to.
well, that'd be hard too because like it's just like you can't just like drop the kid off and
Yeah,
then,
what do you
like,
do
can't
about
just
the
meet
kid?
it. You can't just meet up and like kind of exchange the kid with Kanye.
Walk the kid
and then,
halfway to the
yeah,
If
and
you
then,
have, if you have like, if you can do like a restraining order, like with peaceful contact for the swapping of like kids or for like visitation and stuff. So typically, like most like cases, and then even in my case, my parents didn't have restraining orders against each other, but they were like, let's meet in a neutral spot. So I got fucking swapped at CHP in Arcata.
Did you really?
Yeah, every whatever days it was. We had to drive out to Arcata and we had to swap me in the CHP parking lot because it was a public space, and if God forbid anything happened, the cops are right there.
well, I mean that's good on
And
your
that's
parents.
what-
Honestly,
Spot.
honestly, that's a good spot.
And
for
that's
your,
what a lot of
like,
people
parents.
do is that like, hey, let's meet in a public space, and then hey, just go ahead and meet in like a law enforcement parking lot. It's like as far as a deterrent as you can get from having some wacky shit happen at that moment
Yeah,
in
because
time.
I mean, if both of you like literally don't have any intention of doing anything wrong, like that shouldn't be a problem,
right.
And obviously, like if you ever did have an intention, like, yeah, you're not gonna want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It just sucks because it shouldn't be a joke. but
No,
because
and
it's Kim and Kanye. It
and
kind
so
of
I mean,
is.
yeah, I get like where people come from, like with that, feeling like even myself when I saw he bought a house across the street, I was like,
I was laughing. Yeah.
for fucking real, dude. Like, but I mean, I think it's just part of like who I am and like how my brain is wired too, where I'm like, ooh, that's a little scary. Like, don't do that. Also, where the fuck were you at when y'all were fucking married out in Montana and shit all the time and never there?
Now he's just back in LA.
And now he's like, I
constantly.
want to be here for my kids. Where the fuck have you been? I mean, I'm not in their relationship, so I don't know how long he was actually there. But dude was like in Montana all the time, and she's like, I don't want to live in fucking Montana. He's like, too bad, I'm out there. No,
And
he's
I
like,
remember that because I'm just like, really? Montana? I'm like,
he loves
I'm
Montana.
like, it gets fucking snowy up there. I'm like,
He loves it.
I think he has a pretty big place.
Yeah,
out
he's
there
got a
with the
property,
recording
like,
he's
out
got
in
a big
Montana.
place
He
out
loves
there. I'm
it.
sure
Yeah,
that
it's
dude's
got-
got
he's
hundreds
not
of
living in
acres.
a
Like,
He's
shed.
got like his own
No.
ranch.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that and well, that was like, you know, like if someone like Blake Shelton owns a ranch, makes
Makes
sense.
sense, yeah.
Someone like Kanye
That's
owns a
on brand
ranch,
for
doesn't
you.
make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
that
no
doesn't-
animals on
not-
it.
What are
not
you
that
gonna do
he-
there?
Yeah, not that he can't own a ranch, but just it
Yeah.
doesn't make like
It doesn't
no
go
one. I
with
don't
his
think,
vibe.
I don't think anyone in a million years would have guessed that Kanye was gonna buy a ranch.
No, it's not
No,
on
it doesn't.
Montana.
It's not
Pot
on
farm
brand.
maybe, but
It's
Yeah, I
not
can see
on
that.
brand for him. But I mean, whatever.
He's
I don't think
definitely
I think
spiraling.
Kanye really has diversified his brand at this point. I don't know what Kanye is anymore.
I saw some kid working out in Yeezys at the gym the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Yeezys in real life.
That was the first. I think that was the first time I've ever seen them.
But I've seen them a lot, and I think they look silly.
yeah, they look gross.
I wouldn't want to spend
Yeah.
thousands of dollars.
I've seen stuff like, you know, like the shirts that's a Yeezy brand or whatever, and it just like looks like you just walked out of a fire.
Yeah.
It's just like it's all like semi stained and then it
Like,
has just
oh.
holes everywhere. And I'm
High
like,
fashion.
go to the thrift store and like save
Yeah.
yourself some money. I don't understand.
You can do the same thing.
For a
But,
quarter of the
but
price.
people buy it because it's Kanye's like line.
For
And
sure.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Like I don't like my dad. You know, like when we're like in high school and like you like have jeans that had like little holes in them, but like every time you wash them, they get a little bit bigger. He's like, why the hell would you buy jeans that have holes in them? Like I get it now. So
I got,
like
I
back
got a
then, I'm
couple
like, Dad,
pairs.
shut up. Back then, I'm like, Dad, shut up. You don't get it. And then now it's like,
They're cute.
Michaela's over here crafting. Oh, I'm just gonna cut a few more holes.
I don't cut. Oh, I buy them that way.
Jesus.
think
Yeah.
they're
This shirt. I buy these shirts now off Amazon for like $7. My favorite shirts.
you got basic needs, like basic needs covered. And
Does
that's,
it cover your body? Okay, we're good.
that's,
That's all you need. That's all you
need.
need. Simplicity. Yeah.
For sure. Something about like name brands and like famous people associated to it
But,
gets
like,
hits different.
who decided that Champion was like I literally want to know who decided Champion was like worth a shit ton of money because when we
Or
were kids,
Puma.
that,
Is it
'cause-
now?
Oh,
Oh,
Champion! Like
yeah.
they sold at Zoomies. It's like $70 for a Champion sweatshirt. That literally is just a plain
It's
hoodie.
just a
It
regular.
just has
and
the
then-
Champion little logo on
Yeah.
the sleeve. Literally, you could get that shit from Kmart for like $12 back in the
Really?
day. Yeah, Champion
it's
was
expensive now.
yeah, like it's nuts.
Weird.
Michaela's like, I had no.
See, that's why I'm just like,
Shit.
who made Champion? Like, who made them like? Because my first thought was some celebrity was just out like
For
walking
sure.
around. Someone got a photo of them. They're wearing Champion. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, dude, this
Oh,
guy or this
shit.
girl wears Champion." Like, it's like we gotta go get Champion
too.
stuff. Because you know there's people out there like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
but it's just like Champion. I guarantee you didn't change anything about their line.
It's not.
all of a sudden
higher
their
quality.
stock just went way up. I mean, I don't know. Like it just blows
Like
me away
fucking-
They
that
did it.
What was that? What was that? GameStop. Like when
Is GameStop still around?
they Reddit like revived
Oh
GameStop.
yeah. Those stock bros.
Yeah.
I
What is
can't
it?
remember last
Walmart
night.
They
stock
made a
bets?
movie about it, like
Did
a
they really?
documentary.
Oh,
yeah,
I've
I haven't.
seen that.
I haven't
I
watched
haven't
it,
watched
but
it
I
either,
want
but-
to.
I watched it. I'm just like, huh, it's
Wall
interesting,
Street
and then just
Bets. That's
never-
what it was called, right? Wall Street
Something.
Bets.
I don't know.
That's something.
I don't know. Jake like fucking loves Reddit. I have a hard time being on Reddit because it's not like aesthetically pleasing to me, and I'm like, it's too much. But that's where he gets like all of his news. So that's how I'm like up on like anything at all. Is because he's like, did you see this thing happen in fucking Kuwait? And I'm like, no. Tell me, tell me about it.
Goes down the Reddit list.
Yeah.
I don't spend a whole lot of time. I like Reddit. I just don't spend a lot of time.
I
on it.
haven't either. Every once in a while, like if I'm like looking up something, I'll like find like
I'd shout about it.
it'll be like a thread that goes to.
Yeah, I
like,
love a
Reddit.
Reddit thread.
Mm.
Honestly, I
for
think the last
information.
time, I think the only time that ever happened was when someone was talking about a nugget bucket from Wendy's, and I was like, "What? This is a thing?" And looked it up, and like a worker from Wendy's was on Reddit and like said like, "Yeah, it's a thing."
What is a nugget
A
bucket?
nugget bucket. I like Wendy's
It's l-
nuggets.
Yeah.
Because like I know where I'm going for
It
this.
was literally
Wait
like
a
It's just a
minute.
bucket of like a
Yeah.
KFC bucket of nuggets.
Uh-huh. I was like, because I was
Wow,
like,
we went really far away from
Whoa,
what we were
yeah.
originally
Yeah.
talking about.
but that's the only time I ever went on Reddit. Like, I get a friend of mine, he's on Reddit all the time, and he sends me like certain links to certain things, you know, when I might find it interesting, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, check that out. But
Saw that. He was like, "This is up Dustyn's alley right here."
Jake sends me shit off Reddit all day long. Like 30 plus things all day long, and then whenever I get home, he's like, "You want to watch what I sent you?" And we just spend like 20 minutes watching the videos he sent me on Reddit. They're usually like puppies and shit, and I'm like, "That's what I want."
A nugget bucket.
Did you know? Have you guys like gone to Wendy's a lot?
I don't know. I wouldn't say a lot.
Whatever you've gone, have you gotten Sawsome sauce?
No,
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's like the best sauce. They don't make it anymore.
just stick to ranch.
I was so upset.
Yeah, I do ranch.
was so
I remember
upset.
the Sawsome sauce
It's
because
so
it was
good.
like, because wasn't it like Wendy's version of like Chick-fil-A sauce, kind of? Or
Chick-fil-A sauce. is
Kinda.
really
I've never
good.
had Chick-fil-A
Oh
sauce.
my
I've never had
God.
Chick-fil-A.
You're not. Oh, Chick-fil-A is good. Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's
is
what I've
eh.
heard.
Unpopular opinion: Chick-fil-A sauces. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
I can get down on some Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, Sabrina's down in Sacramento right now, and she can have like anything she wants down there. And I'm jealous. Like, I've been really wanting Buffalo Wild Wings lately. Oh, dude.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh
is
my
good.
God.
Love that place. Love that place.
Those
My friend-
Parmesan wings are the shit. Yeah, but back to Kanye. Did you, since we're on this just popped into my head. I read an article that he was going after Billie Eilish. This is just our tabloid spot
he-
right here.
Sabrina explained that to me a little bit. It
yeah.
was literally just because like
Because she
stood
did
up,
the right fucking thing.
Yeah, she like stood up to something that she basically said or did something that he didn't like or was against him, and now he doesn't. He
It
just
wasn't
fucking
even
hates
against
her.
him. It wasn't even against him at all.
Okay.
So it was at her concert, and one of her fans, because the whole fucking, what's his damn name?
Travis Scott.
thing, and everybody's pissed off at him because it's like, you should have fucking stopped your concert. You know, when people were being
That's
crushed.
What it was. Yeah, okay.
And so, but she was doing one of her concerts, and she noticed, or it was pointed out to her, that one of her fans was having like
It
a
was
problem.
an asthma attack.
Yeah, like an asthma attack,
And
like
she
a problem.
stopped it.
And she stopped the whole thing. She was like, hold on. She was like, you need an inhaler? Does anybody have an inhaler? And like everybody, like all these people are like, I do. And like until she got an inhaler. And then she's like, are you good? Do you need anything else? And then she was like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. And then she was like, okay. She's like, and some people were like, keep going. She's like, no, I wait until my people are okay until I keep going. If anything else happens, I'll be watching, like you point out, and if anything else happens, like I'll stop and like we'll do what we need to do. I take care of my people.
It was because of
That's what
Travis
it was.
Scott.
I take care of my
and then
people or
Kanye is
something.
friends with Travis Scott and didn't like what she said.
And he was
right?
like, this fucking disrespectful.
yeah,
whatever, apologize.
That's what it
And-
was. Yeah,
and she's
Sabrina
like,
explained it
what?
to me, and I was like, huh?
Like what?
Like,
He took Cuddy off of his album because he's friends with Pete Davidson.
and
He's like, you don't get to do it
Oh,
anymore.
I thought that was over Billy too. That was over Pete.
Yeah, he's like, he's friends with you know who. Cuddy will not be on the album.
So we can just acknowledge Kanye is spiraling.
He's
little
having a
bit.
hard time.
She's going through that.
And
guy's
like, dude, I
going
want you to
through
get
it.
some help too, because like this isn't good for anybody. Like, it's not good for you. It's not good for your kids, Kim. Nobody. Nobody's benefiting right now, like at all.
I believe he threatened to pull out of Coachella over that too, didn't he?
He said that he was like, I'm not gonna perform at Coachella until Billie apologizes, and I hope that she was like, okay, fucker, then don't come.
Yeah, why
Like,
say anything?
I'll still be there.
because like that, that just makes all the difference in the world. They can't just have their own like separate spots, not have to see each other, talk to each other.
Yeah,
or
he's like,
anything.
no.
But like, he's like literally just that fucking immature and crazy that it's just like, nah, like we can't even just we can't be there together. Like I can't be around her. It's like, get the fuck off your high horse. Like, that's
She's
stupid.
what, 16?
I'm like,
18?
She's 18 now.
18?
I was like, you're a grown ass man. Like, knock this shit off.
He got nothing better to do.
And how old's Kanye? Late 40s?
I don't know. Old enough
Yeah.
to not be acting this
To not go
way.
after an 18-year-old.
No. Yeah, she's like 18 or 19 or whatever. I know that she's 18 now because people came for her or whatever when she like actually showed up that she had a body. And she was like, I just didn't feel like being sexualized as a child, but all right. Sure.
What do you guys think of that Travis Scott crowd surge case? You think he should be responsible for that? Ooh.
I want to know what you think first.
Dude, that was a deep breath. I don't know if it's necessarily his fault.
I would say I
We're
don't know
waiting
if
for
it is.
Dustin to say it.
Yeah.
Dustin, I'm throwing
I
you a
feel like
line here.
I-
Help me out.
I really feel like I'm
Life
gonna-
preserver.
I really feel like I'm gonna be the mediator here. I don't know if he should really be at fault. He should. Like, I understand like why someone would blame him, but like just because he didn't stop his concert doesn't mean like he should be like in trouble for anything. But like his security team, like there's
But,
that.
how
I
easy is
think-
it to see what's going on in the crowd?
How what?
How easy is it to see what's actually
I
going on?
think it's a lot easier than we think because they're so high up above everybody. Like they
Yeah,
can
but if
see
there's
everybody.
thousands of people out in the crowd,
I don't know.
That's my thing.
I've never been up where they are. I'm not that important. I've
I
always
would-
been down where everybody else
I would
is.
imagine that like all of a sudden you just like everyone's
I-
standing having a fun time, but then all of a sudden you see like a group of people that are like
Like,
just like
fucking
yeah. Then I would
Something.
imagine
or if
you
you
would
see
see
people
that
are like
and,
getting knocked down and stuff, I would hope.
I think you would see that. I think. But-
you would have to see it.
But
like-
with all the like the flashing lights and effects you have going and all the
I don't
energy you got
know.
growing through, like I could see it, but at the same time, like
I could see you not processing it. You know
'Cause-
what I mean?
well, because I'm just trying to compare this to like the first concert I ever went to was in like a stadium, like a football stadium, and we were so far away. No, they're not gonna see us. The second one I went to, if there was an issue, they probably would have noticed because it was like in a basketball arena.
Mhm.
And it was a lot more visible. Like we were closer. We weren't super close, but like if something were to happen in our area and like just a big cluster, shit show was happening, I
Mhm.
think they would notice. The first
Somebody should definitely be
But I-
responsible.
And so that's
Yeah.
why I don't know if it should be like solely him. I think that like anybody that, including himself, like anybody that is meant to be in charge of like crowd safety and crowd control, because there's got to be people, especially with a huge crowd like that, when they know a shit ton of people are going to
Mhm.
be there and it's going to be like a standing room only area, there's going to be one of those active. Like you're bound to have, somebody's going to at the very least get a fucking bum toe, get your foot stepped on it, whatever. So there's got to be some people that were there like meant to have like crowd control and crowd safety and stuff like that. They have medics on standby for that reason at like all concerts. So like none of y'all.
Yeah, I mean it
Like-
shouldn't be just one person. It should be a group of people. Like
Yeah.
and if they were to get like charged for it or however that would play out, like I don't think that'd be the worst thing in the world. Just because
Mm-mm.
like y'all didn't do your job. There's people like jumping, trampling each other over the gates, and like no one's like I understand. One person is like supposed to be sitting there scanning the tickets or whatever, and all of a sudden if you just see 20 people that are gonna hurdle and jump the fence or whatever, and you're just the one person scanning tickets, yeah, you're not
What are
gonna
you
do
gonna
nothing.
do?
You like yeah, exactly. What are you gonna do? So it's just like, but like they should have had probably more security. They should have. I guarantee you things probably could have been better than they were.
For sure. I think at the
And-
if nothing else, it's a learning. It's a point to jump off of like a what not to do.
Yeah,
Well, because it was so preventable.
Yeah, for sure.
it's just crazy that people even act that way. Like
Yeah.
there's not anything that like I could even think of that would make me
Why?
trample people to go and like it
Be
doesn't matter like if
closer
it's a
to an artist?
concert, sporting event, doesn't like I really can't think of anything that would make me want to do that personally. And just some people just get that just out there that
Yeah,
they think it's
only
okay
reason
or
I could-
like I think it's probably a lot of it was like, oh, that person's jumping the fence. Oh, that person's trampling that person. I can do it too, and I'm not gonna get in trouble because everyone's doing it.
anonymity because there's more of us.
It's literally monkey see, monkey do. I'm sure that was probably a big part of it too.
For sure. I think the only reason that I would like trample anybody is if like my life was like also in danger
Yeah,
or something.
but like when no one's life's in, well, person being trampled on's life's in danger. But
Right.
when it's just you're trying to go see a Travis Scott concert, it's just like that's ridiculous. No, no.
Sorry.
I don't think
Kanye's
anyone,
gonna be tweeting it. You know?
Come at me.
yeah, I don't think anyone's that important
No.
to have other people
There's-
just trampled over to get to
No.
go watch a concert.
And
It's like
for what?
Yeah, why?
For what?
You're not
You want to be
special?
2 feet closer to the stage?
Yeah. Get his sweat on you? I don't know. Fucking people are weird.
I don't know. It just seems like it was needless. Somebody should have been
Super.
paying attention.
It could have
I
been
just don't
avoided.
know if it was him. Where he's up on stage, I just don't know what you can really see up on that.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can see. From what I was understanding, it was like people that were relatively close to the stage,
Well,
though. No?
and they were they were in front of cameras, right? Weren't people
Right.
climbing on top of structures to
People and being like,
attention.
"Hey, fucking," and they were like, "No, we're filming." Like,
So then, should that guy be held responsible to some point too? Should the venue be
I
held
don't know what
responsible?
the answer is, but it should. It was.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like when you have like, if you can agree on the security team should be, like to blame to some extent. Okay, is it the security team that was right there? Is it the whole security
Right.
team, even including the people who were on the other side of the stadium doing their job? Everything's going okay over there, but because
Right.
these guys didn't do their jobs, like if you do it, like where do you stop
Right,
it? Like,
Yeah.
is a
where's the
certain
line?
like who was in this section? I guess you could go that way. It's like who, like in the section of where the problems were occurring, what security team or unit was supposed to be right there? Who was the personnel that was supposed to be right there doing their job, and then clearly
Right, and
didn't or did
obviously
a very
did
poor
not.
job of it? Because like obviously someone, if Mark's over there on the other side of the arena doing his job and everything's going fine, like he shouldn't be blamed for that.
Yeah. he
Yeah,
didn't
Mark's
do
Um,
okay.
anything.
But I don't know. That's a problem is when you accept that the security team is going to be, in trouble for it. It's like okay, but then how do you go from there and as to who's in trouble?
And if you scope it down to just him, he's the face of it all.
For sure.
Then you don't have to worry about that. You could say, no, this is because of Travis Scott,
Right.
and we're suing him.
And
Because
I feel like that's like something that you have to be. I don't know if anybody in the entertainment industry knew that they had to be prepared for that, but
well, it's happened
you-
before.
you have to be prepared for like you're gonna be the fall guy, like that's what happens when you're the big
Big
the
fish.
big one.
I think it happened there. It has definitely
I'm sure
happened,
it's happened
before where
before.
people have died. I think it was a rock concert.
But that like how many people in it? Like multiple.
Yeah.
It's a little
There were quite a
different, but I
few.
remember like 3 or 4 years ago or however long ago it was in Vegas. Like Jason Aldean had a concert over there, and there was a guy like had like a gun, like killed a bunch of people, and like they had to like shut the.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that shooting.
Yeah, like that was a big
Oh,
thing.
the Las Vegas
Las
That
one.
was
Vegas
like
shooting, yeah.
like
Oh,
hashtag
yeah.
Vegas strong, I think is what it was. For
Yeah,
a,
I
for a
don't think
while.
that's his fault.
That's a
though.
little
No, no,
different.
no,
You can't help
no.
it if somebody
That's-
starts shooting
no.
at your concert.
No,
I
But
I
he
don't
wasn't
know.
even at the concert. He was at a hotel.
Yeah, overlooking
yeah,
it.
So
Yeah.
it's just like that's what's it's different, but it's just like but even like learning from that, like
Yeah.
trying to like that's how we could take
Which
away
is
from
so fucking crazy that it's like nobody would have thought that I had to pay attention all that way. It was away.
yeah, but it's just like when you're like you gotta
You gotta be prepared for fucking
Yeah.
everything. And fucking who knew that
Which-
we were gonna have to have high security at a fucking garlic festival? But now we do.
What?
We had a shooting at a garlic festival in Gilroy
Recently?
like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I
Mm.
didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, it was like a Gilroy garlic festival, and
Who's
like
shooting
some
up
guy
a
showed up
garlic festival?
and shot up a garlic festival.
probably just somebody who wanted to get like who
Just
wanted to do it and then
fucking-
just decided that's the number one spot. There's
He's
gonna
like,
be
yeah,
a bunch
there's
of
gonna
people
be a
at
lot
one
of people
time.
there. Might as well.
That would not have been my first thought. Who's
Well,
going to
you
a
know,
garlic-
you're not a mass
Different
shooter,
breed,
so.
Well, the world we live in, it's like you got to be prepared and everything. Now it sucks because people
Mhm.
are out there just being that damn crazy that you literally kind of
You're
got to
literally-
be on the edge of your toes every single day.
Yeah, you're
which
not
is unimaginable.
safe
still,
like anywhere, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I take back what I said. Kanye could definitely snap at any time.
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
People are so variable.
That's what I'm saying,
That's a good point.
for sure.
You just don't know.
Nope.
And
That's
then you
what's-
find out and shit hits the fan. It's not good.
and then you find out. You could indeed. I'd hope not, but we're not in control of that.
But what can you do? You can't live your life in fear.
no, 'cause,
No.
I mean, at a certain point, like you gotta trust strangers because like you trust strangers not to run into you on the road when you're driving,
Right.
and so it's just like you got to do some sort of
Yeah. It's like a healthy balance between like living like not in fear but like living aware and stuff and like still being able to like have like regular societal interactions and relationships and stuff and not be terrified of like everybody. But
That's
that's
low key how I feel about COVID.
but that's
It's
difficult.
just like people now are just afraid of like everything. They're afraid of a pin package of how many germs are on it. Like, dude, that's been the same for the last however long pin pads have been a thing. Like the gas pump you touch every week,
Uh-huh.
it's the same thing. You're
We've
just
been-
more aware of it
we've
now
been
because
having
we had a
germs on
pandemic for
stuff.
2. Yeah, it's like you're just more aware of it and you're more afraid of it
Yeah.
because we had a
'Cause
pandemic
you have
for
to
however long.
actively
But like
think about it.
it's like
But
you,
when
you were fine that whole time, and then you
Yeah.
go through a pandemic, and now you're just scared to death of it. It's like, okay, well, you don't need to live your life in fear. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, when I thought about it, I was like, the shit we did on a regular basis was gross. Like, I would go to the grocery store and touch, like, all the stuff, and then I would get home, and, like, I wouldn't wash my hands, and then I
Yep.
would, like, eat and, like, have my
Mhm.
hands in my mouth, and I was like, that's gross.
See,
Why
I
did
Like
we
sharing
I-
drinks
why
with
did we
strangers.
do that?
I think of that,
with
but then I'm just
strangers?
Oh yeah, at a party somebody offers you a drink.
I
Oh,
thought
different.
we went over this.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't
Different
go
breed.
to
I
parties.
think about you do keg stands, and how many other people's mouths were slobbering all over that, and you don't know where
Yeah.
they've been. And
I'll just
Well,
trust
like,
you on
everything
that.
that
I haven't done that either.
well, like everything she was just talking about, like how like it grosses her out. Like at the end of the day, like you think about everything. It's just like I feel that, but then I also look. I was just like, well, like I did all that, and I'm
I'm
fine,
fine,
and
right.
I'm fine. Like it's okay. Like it's gross, but like I'm still alive. I'm
Yeah.
still good. Like that was
For me, it's just
Yeah.
something to think about moving forward. Like I
Yeah.
told Jake a while ago, I was like, you know what I think? I was like, what that I never really thought was gross, and like now I've understanding it's gross. I was like, blowing out candles on a birthday cake is just like blowing
Just spit.
shit
Just a
everywhere,
coating of
and then
spit.
like everybody have it. And I
Yeah.
was like, I think what I want to do is like I'm gonna get a special like birthday fan, and they're like, if it's your birthday, get to use the birthday fan. to blow
yeah.
out the
For me, what gets me every once in a while.
I don't eat birthday cake because of that. Most
but-
people's birthday cakes, I'll be like,
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for like
a
even
long-
before the pandemic.
It was.
Really?
Yeah.
I never
Damn.
even thought
Even
about
back
it.
in middle school, probably I started doing that.
I
So
thought
was
about
like,
it, and
This
I'm-
shit is disgusting.
I've
Everyone,
never
nobody
even
else seems to
thought
have a
about
problem
it.
with that.
I never.
I was like, it's
I
just
would.
air.
I feel,
Yeah.
I feel like I thought about it at some point, but I'm just like, yeah, we didn't hock a loogie on it. We're fine.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
good.
that's what it was. I think I went to some kid's birthday party and she accidentally spit on a piece of cake. I think it was at Hellsport, that big complex in Arcata,
Mhm.
because we were swimming, and I think she spit on it, and that's when I was like,
That'll
I'm
do
good
it.
on birthday
I
cake.
feel like-
I don't need it
I feel
anymore.
like that would do it.
That'll do
like,
it.
I think that would.
I think it
make
was
you
just a
little more
portion too, and they
cautious,
just
but-
like cut that portion out
And
and
you're like,
served it to
no,
the. And I was like,
contaminated.
Not for me.
See, childhood issues.
Sticks with me for life. I don't know if I'll ever be able to have somebody else's birthday cake.
Well, I'm gonna use a fan
The
now.
fan's a good idea,
I'm gonna
but
get a
nobody thinks about that.
special birthday fan.
Code it.
What gets me every once in a while is just like the gas pump. For whatever reason, like that gets me,
It's
and then it's
yucky.
just, and I'm just like, I'll be driving, my hand just kind of
Like,
feels a little heavier, and I'm just like,
Germs.
yeah. Which, but I've always felt like that since I started driving, not just because I see, like, the types of people that are literally just like, everything about them is just nasty and dirty, and all they
Like,
there's been 100 different people on this gas pump all day, and no one wipes it down. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's just
sure.
Oh,
like,
never.
there's definitely
Nobody's ever wiped
yeah,
down.
so I mean,
No
it's
way.
just like that gets me every once in a while, but for the most part, like I'm like I don't touch a pin pad and just like kind of like, oh, I gotta get Purell. I'm just like
Yeah. Yeah, I think from here on out, like I'll always have like hand sanitizer in my car and stuff like that. And like whenever I'm done at the grocery store, I just go. Pss, pss.
yeah.
Not
I mean,
a bad idea.
I
It's
mean,
not- yeah.
I keep hand sanitizer in my truck for for that kind of stuff. Where it's just like if it's really just driving me nuts, then it's just like okay, yeah, I'm not gonna be home for a while, or not
Mhm.
gonna be near a sink to wash my hands or something like that. I'll just use that real quick, and it goes away. I think it's just like the microscopic version of me that's like a germaphobe.
For
Just
sure.
hangs in there. It's
Yeah.
that weird thing where it doesn't bother you until somebody points it out,
Yeah,
and then
you're
it's
like,
all
oh, that
consuming.
is yucky.
But then, like
Yeah.
you think about it, it's like, okay, but I've been doing that for so long,
Right, and
and
I'm
it's
fine.
never been a problem. Like, it's
Right.
never. I'm fine. Like with birthday cake, like you're a little different because like
I had that
but, like,
scarring moment.
yeah, but like still wouldn't bother me. Like if anyone like because someone that I knew at the birthday, so it's
Yeah,
just
to be
like,
fair, if it was you guys, I would probably have a slice of cake. But if
Yeah.
it's a kid you don't really know that
Yeah.
well, I'm okay on the cake.
Yeah, the only time I was really like concerned about it, or I ever really thought about it before, was like if it was like little kids, like 5-year-olds, and they're just like,
yeah,
Not a care in the world.
and then it's like I
Snot
would
dripping down
like,
their
do you have
face.
cupcakes? Like I don't want to eat that.
Well, I was at a Super Bowl party last weekend, and then like I told someone I really wanted a beer, but I didn't want to get up. Well, and they had like their like 3-year-old went and grabbed a beer, and I guess all the way on the way over to me, he was just licking it, and I'm like, I literally just like, thanks. Looked at it for a second, just took my shirt and like kind of like wiped it off real good, and like I drank it. I was just like, whatever. But
Champ. I don't think I would have drank it.
baby spit something else.
well, because like it was out of ice chest. I'm just like, you can't tell like if it's wet because of the chest or if it's wet because he
Right.
licked it. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm not making a big deal about this. I'm drinking the damn thing.
You know what's weird about that? Baby spit, no go. But if your dog licks your face,
Yep.
completely fine.
Nope, I
Not a care in
can't.
the world.
I don't like baby spit. There's
Yeah.
something. It's different.
Baby spit,
It's like
No, thank you.
I don't like it.
but a dog, I wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, no, if my dog accidentally
all.
like
If my
licks
dog
like
licked my
inside
beard,
of my
no.
mouth or something like that, I'm like, that was not what I
Dog
wanted.
starts tongue in your mouth. Okay, we need to stop. We're okay. We're okay.
Like,
I'm like, that was what I wanted, but that's all right.
I'm not gonna actively like let a dog like lick my, like if it happens once or twice, like, yeah, it's
You're
whatever.
not gonna just open
I'm not
your
gonna sit
mouth
there and
for
just.
it.
I'm not gonna sit there and take
I
it.
don't do that either.
I'm not
I'd
gonna
like
sit there
to
and
be
just take
clear.
it.
It's okay. Nobody's judging you. Listen, this was a safe space. You can say whatever.
I don't.
Interesting that you want to do that, but
No,
no
I
judgment.
do not.
I hate like I'll be like laying in bed and then like my cat will come like lay on my chest, which is chill. But then like he'll like nestle his head under mine, which also chill. But then he starts to lick
Also good.
like my neck, and I'm like, dude, get like I like pick him up and like kind of throw him at the end of the bed with my feet. 'Cause I'm just like, I'm not having your tongue on my neck right now. It just hurts for one. It feels like sandpaper.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
like
good.
but it's just like I don't. And his breath stinks. I'm just like, get away from me.
Just too much.
Yeah.
Jackson got me good a couple nights ago. I was coming home from the gym, and he'll come down and I'll pet him. And he was up on the stairs, so he was like eye level with me, and I'm petting him. And he licked the side of my eye, and I went to go, and I opened my mouth, and he licked the inside of my mouth, and I was like, you motherfucker.
He said exactly that.
Yeah,
It is
he
what
just
exactly
ran
how I
back, I was like,
Yeah,
planned.
see, I think if that was me, I'd literally just be like,
piece
just
of
wipe it off, and
shit.
like that was gross, and just move on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just went on with my night.
I wouldn't feel
Yeah.
compelled to like brush my teeth or like
I
listerine
didn't.
the
No.
shit out of my
No,
mouth or
just
nothing.
No, I
kept
just be
going.
like, all
That
right.
happened.
Yeah. I'm like, that was gross, but
Yep.
alright.
But if a
Move
baby
along.
accidentally licked my eye or caught the inside of my mouth, I'd probably throw up.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit is not happening. Double standards.
Yeah, I mean, like, I refuse to get the eye boogers off our cat. So, like, Serena does it. I refuse to do it. I'm like,
Jake
that's
does it
gross.
to our dog too. He's like, oh, you got eye boogies, and I'm like, what the fuck you touching it?
Yeah, I'm just like, I refuse to do it. Like, if I do it, I'll like, you know, like if it's like my work sweatshirt, I'll take my work sweatshirt,
Yeah, I'll
like
get,
get
like,
them
a
off, or like, I'll
napkin.
get like a napkin and
Yeah.
she'll just like, you know, she like uses her hand
She
like
just go-
That's
Whoop,
hardcore.
and then like rubs her and just rubs the hand off or whatever. I'm just like, nope.
Jake
She's like, what are
does
you gonna
that,
do when
like-
we have a kid? And like throws out. It's gonna be different because for one, I help make it, so it's gonna be.
It's my
like,
responsibility.
Yeah, like that's babies do that. Like, but like it's not my responsibility to clean my cat's eye boogers. He's got paws for a reason. He
He's
can do it.
alright.
That's fine. Like I'm not doing
He'd
that.
survive in the wild
Yeah,
with
he'll
it.
be
He's
okay.
alright.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
Jake-
not. A
Jake does
baby's a
that
little
every
different.
morning.
Like
Every
I'll-
morning he'll go, oh, you got eye boogies. Let me get it for you.
nope, not me. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm grabbing a
But he
napkin.
also, when we go to bed, like Ziggy doesn't. I don't like when Ziggy licks my face, but Ziggy, if he could exist like right here, like within 3 inches of your face, he fucking would, and I hate that. But Jake is just like, oh, it's fine. And then so when we go to bed, he'll like come up and cuddle, and like when he snuggles in bed for like 15 minutes, and then he goes down on his bed right by ours. And whenever we're like, okay, Zig, like it's bedtime, like let's go. And he'll get up, he'll put his front paws like on Jake's shoulders and like pin him down and then just soak his whole face and just like lick him to the point where Jake's like, like can't fucking breathe. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I just gotta let him do it. It's just he's just giving me loves. And I was like, nobody fucking needs that. Nobody needs that, but it's the little thing that they do when they love each other.
Yeah, they gotta be taking a shirt and like wiped off. or
So it is,
something,
yeah,
but-
and he doesn't wipe it off. He's just like, ah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Man
dog
loves his
saliva
dog.
doesn't bother me.
Man loves his dog, so
He
Yeah.
does.
no judgment.
It's something else. But yeah, I am very worried for like children poop. I can't.
Those
I
diarrhea
feel like
bombs.
I'm gonna throw up on my baby.
I feel like a lot of it's just the smell gets me, is what it
The
is.
smell.
Like if poop gets
Yeah.
on my
Smells
hand,
bad.
if poop gets on my hand, I'm just like, all right, that's gross. I'll wash
Oh.
my hands after. Like I could deal with that, but like the smell, I think is the worst part. Where it's just like, mm-mm.
And human poop is worse than animal poop by far.
Thought of it makes me want to gag. God. No.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah,
I don't want any of the poop.
I think a lot of it would just. It also helps again, just because like you help make it. Like it's your responsibility.
Maybe.
Like,
I help
We'll
make this
see.
poop.
This
That's
is my
okay.
fault. I did this to myself.
have you seen? I think it's a. I don't know if it's a meme or just a picture that just went viral, but it was like a baby when he had like a diaper and a shirt on, and it's literally just like yellow, like just it's all over his back, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, that might be I mean, like just a put you in the
Just hose
bathtub,
it down.
like
Yeah, what do you do? Take him in the
Hose him
backyard,
off.
grab the hose.
I'm gonna set you in the shower and like let the freaking like the bath faucet run on your back for a second because I'm not.
I'm
You
not
gotta
Oh my
even
god,
gonna
I
try.
saw one. This dad had his baby on his back, and it was a picture of his back and just
Oh,
diarrhea.
Yeah,
just all down his back.
See, honestly, I feel like the worst part for me is like taking your shirt off and then having
Oh
to go
yeah.
over your head.
Oh, I'm cutting it. I'm cutting
yeah.
the front and
That one-
sliding it off.
That one might be a cut down the front.
Yeah.
Take it off. That one might be.
I'm not even gonna risk it.
'Cause, like,
That's a cut,
I'll
and then
s-
you're in the
you know,
shower
I'll
for 2
scrub
hours.
my back. I'll get a new shirt on, whatever. But like, I don't want that shit in my hair. Like that's nasty.
Or you're pulling it up and it just slides
No!
in the front.
Oh, no.
God.
I don't know how you're gonna do it either.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's a. I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
We just keep it in the diaper.
I don't-
Everything's
yeah,
okay.
just keep it there. See, but if you have a boy or whatever and like he pees on me, I don't think that I would react. Well,
Well,
it's
pee's
just pee.
different. Yeah, for sure.
But you'd think it'd be like body fluids, but no. But baby puke, I can't. Oh, baby puke is almost worse than poop. I hate baby puke.
It's. I don't
It's
know.
so
I might take
bad.
the puke over.
There was a.
It's such a unique smell.
It does. It reeks. It does have a pretty solid
I
stench.
can't say I've ever actually like experienced it yet. I do have a newborn niece, so maybe it'll happen
She's
eventually.
never experienced like a newborn baby.
No, I've never just experienced like
puke.
a newborn baby puking.
Oh, it's
I imagine. I've seen videos and it looks like a smoothie coming out of it.
yeah,
It
it's like
doesn't look
chunky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything coming out. It doesn't look good.
Ugh.
Yeah. Pick
I
an
mean,
end.
Anything coming out of a baby is not gonna be good.
Keep
Yeah.
it in. I don't want it.
No thanks. I'm good.
Gotta deal with it though.
Yeah.
That's part of the territory,
One
right?
of these days, I guess, maybe. I go back and forth. I'm like, do I need one?
Like I had a buddy of mine, like we were at the lake, like, and he was like drinking, and we were driving to the campground. He fell asleep. He woke up just sitting there, just vomiting, and like went all over like my dashboard, my passenger
Oh.
door, and my seat and everything. I'm just like, all right, let's pull over. And like he used his own shirt to clean it up. I had like some napkins
Aw.
in the dashboard, but
What a guy.
didn't have
I'm
enough.
sorry I threw up in your truck, man.
Did-
that's
he-
the only
lit-
right response.
It was literally like, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm like, let's just air it out. I mean, we'll deal with it when we get home. You'll clean it. We're good. Like, there's just let it all out right now on the side of the road. What you got left, and then just clean up as much as you can. We're good. Like it happens, buddy. I've had my fair share of pukes, so I get it.
That's the thing. You can't get mad.
No.
'Cause we've all been there.
no,
For sure.
So
You
the
just
amount of,
gotta.
like,
And-
the times that Sabrina's had to take care of me is dreadful. Like there was one time like I threw up in her bed, and it was so bad that like she put our phones on FaceTime, and she went and slept in my bed, like because we like were in separate rooms at that
Just,
point.
like, baby monitoring you.
Yeah, dead ass. Like just she's like I just because
I just can't be
I
in the
need to
room
make
with
sure
you.
you're breathing.
yeah,
That's
she
all
was-
I need.
She's like, 'cause she's like, you weren't trying to help yourself. She's like, it was all me, and I'm like, yeah, sorry. She was a real one though.
Oh,
Throwing
boy.
up in the bed that's the worst.
I haven't
one.
done that.
I haven't
I've
been
gotten
there.
lucky
I've
that
always made
every
it to the
time
top.
there's a bucket.
Been, yeah.
by.
I've always made it to the toilet.
Been
Thing.
there a couple
Knock on
times.
wood.
Been there a couple times.
Oh boy.
Like I guess that time was especially bad because I was just like half hanging upside down off the bed, and it's just going in my nose, down my
Going
face,
Oh,
And, like-
oh no!
and I wasn't doing anything.
Just catching it.
You're just like, yeah.
Like I wasn't
Let
trying to
it
sit up. I
happen.
wasn't trying to like. My eyes were closed.
You were
I-
ready to go.
You're like, hey, baby, free food.
I mean, I don't remember any of this. I was just like, it was one of those times just so far gone. And she was like, dude, it was terrible. And
Oh.
you know, of course she had white sheets and
Oh,
had
poor
to get her new
Sabrina.
bedding. Oh, she was a real one, 100%. She was a real
Had
one.
you guys been together for long at that point?
It wasn't even a year.
You did that,
Ooh, that's a bold move.
Yeah, it wasn't even a year. And that might have
Wow.
been like maybe 3-4
That's
months
a
in.
test to
Oh
see
my
if she's
God,
gonna stick
yeah,
around.
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's
3-4 months in.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a real one.
I mean, to be fair, I've taken care of her too. I mean, I definitely when she takes care of I take care of her more often than she has to take care of me.
Same.
But when she has to take care of me,
It's bad.
it's usually a lot more worse
Yeah,
than
yeah.
her. So I'm like, okay, it's a fair trade off. Like I do it more often. You have it. Your job is a lot harder. though.
Quality versus
'Cause
quantity.
She try and help herself a little bit. I don't give a fuck. It's
Oh.
like yeah.
I don't help myself.
Yeah, I don't help myself either.
Jake's self-sufficient as fuck.
That's good. That's good. He's
That's
a
a
keeper.
good.
He's
That's a
keeper.
good person to have
He's
around.
so self-sufficient. Like, even if he's like more hammer than any of us, he's like, okay, everybody, let's not do that.
Yeah, there was one I would have slept in the yard one time if it wasn't for Zach. Like I was just like I remember like walking up to and I remember going down and everything, but like I just had I didn't have any reasoning in my head. I'm like I didn't feel any need to get up. I was like when I hit the ground, I'm like
This is good.
I'm good.
yeah, I'm just like
It's a nice
I'm
spot.
fine. And it's just in my parents' front yard, just like yeah, if Zach wasn't there, that's where I would have spent the night in my parents' front
That would have
yard.
been a fun sight for your parents to
Oh,
wake up
God.
to. Dustyn, you okay?
Felt like a fucking movie.
Zach still asked about it. He's like, you didn't even try and catch yourself. He was like, you were just done. And I was like, yeah, I was content with staying there, but he picked me back up, got me to the bathroom. That's where I stayed the night.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been that way.
you.
I'm always like, okay, let's.
Yeah, that's a
Let's
good
get
way
some
to keep
water.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how. Yeah, that's yeah. I've gotten a lot better at it, but for a while I was like, I would consciously be like, if I go past this point, it's gonna get bad, and I'd be like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Especially because like I never partied or anything, so like if I was drinking, I was with a group of friends that somebody is gonna take care of me, and like actually,
You're like,
and
let's
like
just go.
yeah, nobody's gonna take advantage of me. Like somebody's gonna take care of me and like make sure that I'm safe. And so I'd be like, let's fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, you gotta know the line not to cross. It's just like, I know the
But it
line when
gets
I
so
hit there, but then when I'm there, I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah,
like, I
it's
don't give
like,
a
I
shit.
don't
Like,
care.
let's go
It's like,
past it. That's
let's
Yeah,
cross
yeah.
this.
that's future Dustin's problem. It's not
Yeah,
my problem
for
right now. Like,
sure.
it's not. Like I'm ready to go. Let's go.
For sure.
Have you
That's
guys
so
ever
gross.
been blacked out?
Yeah. Once.
Not all. No. Like okay, when you say blacked out, like do you mean like the entire night is fucking gone? Because no, I've had like an hour or two.
Missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like very very blurry.
Yeah, I've been there. I've never.
Or it's been like
just
I know
forgotten.
I remember walking into this house. I don't remember walking out, but I remember like being at the next destination.
Yeah, there was one time like I talked to both my parents. They both like on the night of the bathroom floor. They both saw me. Like my mom was going to work, and also
What
that was
time was it?
6 in the
It
morning.
was like 4 in the morning.
Okay. I was like 3 in the afternoon. What are we doing?
No, it was like
just
4 in
came
the
on
morning.
plastered. It's
No.
2:30.
And she was, and it was one of those things. Just like I wasn't trying to help myself. Like my mom was like, I'm like 17, 16,
Oh no.
and like just
oh no.
gone, and like she's just trying to get me off my back and like roll me over.
Yeah, just don't
so I'm
die.
not choking.
Yeah.
And then like I don't remember any of that. I guess
Oh boy.
when she finally got me on my I don't remember if I was talking to her or my dad at some point, because my dad also found me later, like after my mom went to work. He found me, and I talked to one of them, and then I just remember getting up, and I was just like, I'll deal with that when I wake up. And I'm going to bed, and I was just like, no one's gonna know a thing. I'm gonna get up early, like I'm gonna clean that up. No one's gonna know.
No one's
and
gonna
then,
know.
yeah, it was. Yeah, they both asked me, like, they're just like, so how you feeling? I'm like, okay, well, and they told me what happened. And I'm like, oh shit,
Oh.
really? Oh, that's tough.
Oh,
So,
you guys knew.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good like 4 or 5 hours. Just, I mean, a lot of that I was asleep, but just that whole conversation of just seeing and meeting like them and them seeing me like that, no recollection of it, none.
Yeah, I feel like that would be
So-
scary if you lost like a whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
And the people that do that consistently, where
Like,
it's
how
just
are
every
you
time
not-
I go out and
how
drink,
are you
I
not
black
dead?
out.
Yeah, that'd be tough. I don't, and because usually when that happens, like I'm good on like drinking for like a while. Like I'm
Oh.
good.
Michaela's like, rookie.
I just don't want to do it the next day, but like next weekend, I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's do it again. Granted, I haven't done that since like I was in college, but
And
still.
college is the time. For
yeah,
that.
that's when you everybody.
part of the
That's what
culture.
they expect from you.
Yeah.
That's what they expect.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, no, my best story. It's not like my favorite, but I think it's the funniest. Is like the first time I ever went on a bar crawl, and we all got like matching shirts and stuff. Super cute. And so we all got matching shirts and we went on this bar crawl. And then at the final location, other people were gonna go to other stuff, and I was like, you know what, I think I should be done. And so, but I didn't call my boyfriend. I called like my friend who was also at the house with him, and I was like, you need to come and get me. And so she came, and she's like, did you call Jake? And I was like, nope. I was like, he's not gonna know. And then, so they brought me back to the house that everybody else was partying at. And I like was just on the couch for a while, and he was like, all right, babe, let's go. And then so they put me in the back of the car, and to get to our apartment at the time, you had to drive down this like bumpy road that like you can't avoid any of the bumps. And I don't recall saying this, but evidently I said, could you not hit every fucking bump? Like I was just being a bitch. And so then they got me out of the car, and like I couldn't. Like, Jake was like, it'd just be better if I carried her. And so he pulls me out of the car, and I'm like, carries me like a baby, like that. And a girl that was friends with one of the other girls that was on the bar crawl recognized my shirt and recognized that I was this other girl's friend. They were in a sorority together, and recognized me, saw this man carrying an incapacitated girl out of a car, and her friends ran up and were like, who are you? What is this place? What the fuck is happening? And was like prepared to like fight this man who was my very long-term boyfriend. And she was like, do you know him? And I was like, it's my boyfriend. Like, it's totally fine. And then they were like, she's very drunk. And so they were like, where are your cups? Where's your water? And they like came over and like ran into our house. We don't know their names. I've never seen them again in my entire life. And they just like took over. They were like, where's your cups? Where's your water? Where's your bathroom? All right, you take her upstairs. I will get her some water. And then I didn't want to throw up, but I needed to. And she was like, do you want me to do it? And I was like, sure. And so a stranger stuck her finger down my throat.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I was like, thank you so much.
What a trooper to do that for you.
I know.
Just a
I've
complete
never met
stranger,
this girl.
A random stranger.
I
Wow.
know. I was like,
MVP.
what a gal. And then so Jake took me to the bedroom, and then they were like, where are her pajamas? They took all of my clothes off, put pajamas on me, and then they were like, see ya. Never fucking seen him again in my entire life. It was so
Guardian Angels right there.
It was. And so I told my friend, and I was like, these girls like came by. I was like, Jake took a video of me throwing up so I can show you what she looks like. And then she's like, she's in my sorority. She was like, fucking Gamma Phi's. We're there for people. I was like, that was really cool, because it could have easily just been some fucking random guy that was like, all right, score. Like, here's this incapacitated person. Let me just take her home real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they're the real MVPs for like kind of
running up and
just making sure
yeah,
that
they were like, hold on.
he was who he says, obviously
Yeah.
he was, but like that, but to go into someone's house and do a little extreme. I mean, if you're appreciative of it, then whatever.
And to help them throw up. I mean, everything else up until that point, like, wow, good Samaritans. And then
yeah, when you said they went to my house, and I'm just like, and then yeah, but
stuck her hand down my throat.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, sure, not thinking in a million years she was gonna fucking do it, and she did. And I was like, that was helpful. Thank you very much. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I think the only thing closest that we've ever done was like when we tried to get Kaz to throw up, we just showed him a gross picture, and that made him puke.
Oh yeah,
but
it worked, didn't it? Work?
It worked, yeah.
What
we
did
just
you
googling.
show?
It's your show. You say it.
I was looking at you to see. Did you remember what it was? I remember.
I remember
Damn.
what it was. That's what I'm saying. It's your show. You say it.
It was.
Your show. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, your mom has to listen to it. Mine doesn't.
It was a blue waffle. Wasn't
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And I remember Kaz was like, I don't think Kaz thought it was actually gonna help, and Dustyn and I were like, no,
I
we'll
think
find
it'll do
something
the
for him.
Because we're like, because like I remember I pulled up my phone and like I'm like, look at this, and then just like he's just like he kind of starts to get. I'm just like, think of how it smells. Think of how like you were right in front of it, just like, and it got
you
him.
went far.
Dustin's over here reading him a story about it.
I'm like, it got him. So I think that's the closest. I didn't think that's that's as far as I've ever gone with that. So
Wow.
Wow. What troopers though? That's
Yeah.
cool that they did that.
It was yeah, quite the day. But that was like I think like the most incapacitated I've been. But even then I didn't I remember like a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one time where our roommate's dad and his brother were in town, and his dad, for one, we were all out drinking, and then he Ubered home, and we gave him a key to get into the house. He forgot he had the key. And so when we got back home, like all of the screens on our windows were off, and he had tried to like get in through the window. And then like our slider was all fucked with, and then he was like, a key. And he got in just fine. And we came in and he was like passed out on the fucking couch. But then we continued to like bar hop after that or whatever. Because in Chico, like there's an asinine amount of bars within a walking distance of each other. Like it's not safe. There's so many. And so we went to one bar. We went to Riley's, and I didn't know we went to Riley's until the next day when I was like looking at my bank account, and I was like, $32 at Riley's. We went to Riley's. He's like, oh yeah, you were buying everybody fucking drinks. And I was like, cool, thanks for letting me do that. Like, all right, whatever. I was like, I don't even remember. He said, yeah, then you bought people drinks, and then you had like 2 drinks in your hand. We were like, we gotta fucking go, and you just were like, here you go, and like handed it to somebody and fucking dipped. I was like, cool.
Trooper.
MVP.
That's what
That's the way to do it.
That's
Yeah.
what college was for, though.
Oh yeah. Especially Chico.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Might as
spot
well.
for it. Yeah. And when else? How many other opportunities do you get to just cut loose like that?
None. Can't happen now. I can't do it now.
Yeah, right. But I mean, as an adult, and then you have kids, and you can't just go
You can just
bar hopping
go
whenever
do
you
what
want.
wanna do.
Yeah.
So you
No.
gotta
You
find
get responsibilities and-
yeah.
I think it would be super fun though, like whenever I do have kids, I plan to like at least once every couple of like months or like once a year or something like that. Like, hey, somebody, like mom and dad, whatever, take the kids for like like the whole weekend, and then like,
Yeah.
hey,
Oh, yeah.
let's just go get fucking plastered
Yeah, I know.
because we
To a
can.
bender.
Yeah, I think the first time I like really noticed my mom like drunk, is she had like her work's Christmas party, and she wasn't plastered
That'll
by any
do it.
means, but she was just she was feeling good. And I think I was probably, I don't know, I was a teenager. I don't know what age, but I was just like, good for you, mom. You're having fun. Like
Yeah.
you never go out and do this. So I'm glad you're having fun. But
When I was in kindergarten, my mom, I have a very young family. My mom's like 43. And so when I was in kindergarten, she had gone drinking like the night before, and she was throwing up like before she took me to kindergarten, and I told my friends, I was like, my mom was throwing up because she had too much alcohol. And then that one of those kids' moms, my mom worked at Costco, still works at Costco, and one of those kids' moms saw my mom at Costco, and she said, I heard you had a fun night the other
Oh my
night. And my
God.
mom was like, you can't tell people when mommy's throwing up. That's not nice.
just got to your kids, snitches get stitches.
Yeah, right?
We don't
That's
tattletale
between
on
us. We don't
people.
let anybody know about that. Yeah.
But I was like, well, then you shouldn't do that.
It's always fun. The night is always fun, and then you start throwing up, and it's like,
Yeah, then it's like,
all
aw.
right.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
But I had a good time.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is like I don't really get like hangovers that much. Like I think I've had a hangover twice in my life.
And
And once
some gnarly hangovers.
and one time was like
I had one that lasted like 3 days.
the next
Oh,
day.
damn.
The next day was like the 4th of July, and I'm like walking around like the festival and stuff we have in Old Town, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling so good. And just kind of like we went to Smugs and had some greasy ass pizza. Right up.
Yeah,
feel
Like,
good.
Just fine. Just fine.
Feel fine now.
I think what does it to me is like I'm a sucker for Jello shots. Like they're super easy, but like the sugar,
sugar.
yeah,
Oh,
the
That's what
sugar.
gets
I think that's what makes me just kind of like lose it, and
That's what gets you.
that's what gives me a headache in the
Uh-huh.
morning. Is that, and so if I stay from those, I'm usually pretty good.
Yeah. Jello-
Those rum and Cokes, rum and Dr. Peppers, those kill me. I can't do them anymore.
And, like,
'Cause it's
wine
just
hangovers
so,
are the
Oh
worst.
my god.
They
It's
hurt.
it's too much.
Can't say I ever had wine.
It
hangover. I
hurts.
heard it
so
hits different. Yeah,
bad.
I've heard wine and champagne hits
Ugh.
different. When the hangover
It
hits
hurts
different.
so bad. I remember freshman year, I like had some wine and I had too much, and it was I probably shouldn't have started that story. It was it was a weekday, and the next day, I think it was like Thursday morning or something like that. So I had drank like Wednesday night. And Thursday morning, Jake and I had, because we both went to Chico State, Jake and I had a class that was near each other. And so we would meet at this one, because we didn't live together. We would meet at like this one spot, like talk for a couple of minutes or whatever, like say hi, give each other a kiss, whatever, and then go. And I hadn't told him that I had been drinking the night before. And so I didn't want to get caught. And so I woke up, got dressed, and got ready, went and met him at that spot, and went right back home. And
Nice.
slept like all day. Didn't go to any of my classes. But I didn't tell him that for like a year or two. That I was like, I didn't go to school that day. He's like, you didn't look good. I said, but I tried.
Damn.
I didn't want. I kept up the facade. I didn't want to get caught because I didn't want to be shamed for drinking on a weekday.
Yeah, the wine ones are the worst. It always gives me such a bad headache. I feel like it's
Yeah,
just
it
it's a
hurts.
pressure in your head.
Yeah, it hurt, and
Yeah.
nothing makes it go away. It hurts.
Yeah, wine's
really
the worst.
bad.
Sugar's
Yeah,
pretty
it's the
bad
sugar.
too. Yeah, I can't do it anymore. I try to just do straight. I'll do beer or I'll do like a straight vodka or straight whiskey. I don't really like mixing it.
God,
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
that's
Good lord.
Well, I had Angel on
Holy
a couple.
shit.
I guess it's been a couple weeks now, but we were just doing tequila. I can't even do tequila unless it's
Oh.
with her now, because I think of that night I was sitting on my front porch just throwing up into the flower bed. It's like, well,
Ooh.
not a tequila guy anymore.
Ugh.
I love tequila. Tequila's awesome.
Oh God.
But straight vodka, you can't do that, buddy.
Why would you
I can't do
drink
that.
There's it's this hemp vodka. Shout out to Abe Stevens, Humble Distillery. It's really good. That's the vodka I'll do, and it's hemp flavored, but it doesn't have THC or
What?
anything. Yeah, hemp.
What is hemp flavored?
It's.
Try
Do you know
some.
what hemp is? Hemp
Try some.
is.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
know what it
it-
is, but what does it taste
It's
like?
just an earthy flavor, which doesn't sound appealing.
No.
Now that I'm saying it like
I don't
that.
think I want to drink it.
You could smell it if you want to smell it. You could take a shot if you want to.
You can put some in your Dutch Bros.
It's
That's what we would do at Chico all the time. We would always get Dutch Bros, drink like this much, and then fill it off with vodka.
There
I
you
would fill
go.
mine up with Malibu though, because I don't like vodka. That
I
much.
can't do the coconut in
I
Malibu.
love
I don't
can't
like
do- I
coconut
like
at all,
straight
but
coconut,
Malibu,
but-
like
I love Malibu.
I can do Malibu just because it's not a very strong flavor. 'Cause I do not like coconut at all, but Malibu I can do. Especially if you like mix it with something else, it's not bad. But usually if I make a mixed drink, I like to mix like a whiskey sour or 7 or something like that. Like those are, because it's not over the top sugary, but you're still getting like, makes you feel warm and nice.
Yeah, my go-to is a Jameson on the rocks.
Mm.
That's kind of been my
You are a
old man.
You are an odd
Old man.
duck.
I went to a party with my sister, and I showed up with this bottle. It was a party with all of her friends and stuff, and so we showed up, and I brought a bottle of Jameson, and I was just walking around with a cup of Jameson, and people are like, "You're just drinking straight Jameson? Like, what are you, a sociopath?" And I was like,
You
Like, that's-
strange
Well,
23,
you know what
24-year-old.
we did that they
Oh, that's
introduced me
classy.
to? Picklebacks. Do you guys know what
Oh
those are?
my god, yes.
Woo!
Jake wrecked himself.
Oh
on
my
picklebacks.
god.
What is that?
Picklebacks. You got to explain it to
It's
him.
whiskey, and then your chaser is just straight pickle juice, like from the jar.
I'd try it.
It's so good. The pickle
I'll try
juice
it.
masks
I've never
any
had.
burn.
So the only time I've tried it was the only pickles we had was zesty pickles, and it was terrible.
I don't know if I've only had it with dill pickle.
So I've never had it
juice,
with dill
but-
pickle and
Yeah,
Jameson.
zesty pickles might not.
I was like,
might not be the same.
I
have a
tried
little
it.
more
It didn't
kick.
go good. It was yucky.
Yeah, but pickle juice, it's like drinking water.
I'd give it a shot.
Or
It's
pickle
ins-
juice.
Or pickle juice, but I mean, we were pounding shots because you can't.
Yeah, it's,
It's nothing.
you don't perceive
It's nothing.
it.
Yeah. It just goes down, and then you're throwing it all back up, and you're like, "There's the pickle
The
juice again.
ounce.
Yeah, there's the pickle juice. Not
There's
as
the
good on the way
brine.
back up." Yeah, I'd never heard of that before that night.
Yeah.
I didn't know
but
that was a thing.
I don't remember like when or how we heard about it, but
Who
then
thinks of that?
I don't
It's like,
fucking
oh,
know.
we're just gonna chase whiskey with pickle juice.
I don't
Someone
know.
that didn't have a mixer.
Yeah, they were like, might as well
Yeah. Weird,
try something.
but it's good.
Something I've heard is really good that I haven't tried. It's Screwball, the peanut butter whiskey.
Peanut butter
Oh.
whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Delicious.
I've multiple sources say it's really good. I've just
Peanut
haven't
butter
tried
whiskey.
it. I only have it at Walmart. I think they have like a smaller one and a bigger
Why am I
one.
not
That
surprised?
doesn't sell me on it.
It's a Walmart brand, but
I really have it at Bevmo.
Doesn't
too,
make
if
me
you're
feel
too-
good.
If you're too good to go to Walmart, you can go to Bevmo.
I'm just thinking the hangover off that is probably not going to be
Intense.
great. Did you guys ever drink Everclear?
No. Is it that shit that you can like?
Oh my god!
Like
that you could
light
just
on
run your
fire?
car on? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I've tried it. I've never.
No.
I wouldn't say I've tried it. I wouldn't say I've tried it enough to like per se like really like drink it. Like it was just a sip.
Yeah.
And it just 100% fire all the way down.
Gasoline.
Oh, dude, it's like you just feel.
That's
and
how
and
I-
you feel it for like 5 minutes at least. Like
That's how I felt when I
the-
drank Patron for the first time.
Like the little bit that I had, it was literally just a 5-minute straight burn, and it was instantly warm. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
whoa.
It's like drinking lighter fluid.
Yikes.
It's probably $5 a gallon. It's dirt cheap, and it's just
Oh.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
toxic.
I think that vodka might be better, but I'm thinking of like cheap ass vodka, like that's like Pop Off or something like that. That's just like $5 for a whole like pint or whatever, and it's just like I couldn't do that because that would be literally like drinking battery acid. I think I don't think that'd be very good, but like that stuff I could probably. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say that I'm gonna take your word for it.
Have you tried that?
I haven't.
It's
Maybe we'll
pretty
try it
good. That's
later,
the only
but-
vodka I would really do straight. Would be that, just because it has a little flavor, but it's I don't know how to describe it. Earthy.
Yeah,
natural.
Drinking the Jameson straight, I don't think that's really that weird.
Mm.
That's not that weird. It just doesn't
It's
make
it's
sense
weird
for
for
like
us.
your age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For 20s.
I mean, if you're like
If you're in like your 40s or 50s,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if
that's
you're
on
like in your
par.
50s,
Your
you're
second
sitting in the-
divorce, you've got a couple million
Yeah.
in the bank.
you're sitting in your den enjoying a nice book.
Yeah, in front of your fucking fire.
Swirling it. Just mulling over life. I don't know. What do you do at that age?
Yeah, giving life
for
advice. to your
24 at a
great-grandchildren.
party where you're playing beer pong and you've just got Jameson on the rocks like
Yeah.
a fucking weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make you look
Yeah.
mentally stable.
Nope. Starting to feel like Kanye.
That's how it started.
Yeah. No, Everclear. We used to drink that when I was in the frat. It would be Everclear, these half gallons of Everclear and beer. And the Everclear was to make mixed drinks if people wanted mixed drinks, and then you just had beer.
That's
That was
good.
it. That
That's
was the
good.
staple.
No, that sounds like a very good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That shit is that Everclear. I would just stick to beer because you'd take a sip of Everclear and you'd be like, I'm probably gonna die, so we'll just keep having beer. I think it was Busch Light was the go-to.
I wish I liked beer. I just don't.
You drink it more, you'll get the hang of it. Because I used to not like beer.
Yeah.
And now it's just like sometimes
I don't
it
want to
just-
put myself through
It's
it.
it takes a while. It's an acquired taste.
Well,
Yeah, kind of. It depends on what kind. Like that's the crazy thing is like there's beers. There's so many different kinds.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
just like I'm not a big IPA guy.
I
I've had
can't do them.
I've had one IPA that was actually like really really good, and it didn't taste like an IPA. But a lot of them I'm just like it's like I don't really like dark heavy beer. Like I like Bud Light or Budweiser. Like Budweiser is probably like the heaviest I'll really go, and that's really not that bad. But
I'm a cheap beer guy. I'll do some Busch Light.
I like Busch.
Heineken's solid. Heineken's really good.
I've never had Heineken. I like Stella though.
I've
Rolling
had
Rock.
Stella, I like that.
So-
I've never had
Rolling Rock
I've
is
never had Rolling Rock. I've never
prime.
been that red.
Rolling Rock is prime. That's a good beer. Bud Light, solid. Corona.
You want
There's
to
so many
class it up
different
and get
kinds.
Bud Light Platinum? That
You get a
shit's
Corona
good.
Extra if you're feeling
Honestly-
really bougie.
We were talking about different beers.
If you want, I would try Bud Light Platinum. If
I
you're
was
like,
trying to be like I want to be able to enjoy like Sierra Nevada
Oh, we're just over here.
beer. I can drink like
if you
those.
want to get in like
those
not,
other
not, not
beers.
that you really want to get into drinking beer, but like if you want a beer, I feel like a good place to start would be like Bud Light Platinum.
I
Yeah.
don't think I like. That's that.
It's the dark blue bottle.
Oh, I'm not a fan of platinum. That's too bougie for me. I can't do that. I think my dad got those one weekend and I tried one. I was like,
They're
this
good.
shit sucks.
I like it. It's good.
I couldn't do it.
I think it's the hoppy flavor that I don't like
Mm.
because it's just so it's too earthy.
I have a Bud Light out in the truck if you want one.
I do not. I
think
gotta.
we got one.
I gotta
We
drive
might have one
home.
over there.
I gotta drive home, and I am a small,
Oh.
lightweight lady.
I got buzzed off 2 glasses of wine a couple nights ago.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Red wine is good though. I can get down on some red. Okay. You don't like wine, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Red wine
Okay.
is like I haven't really.
Okay.
I think the closest thing to
I
wine.
am 40, you know?
I-
I think the
Yeah.
closest
Embrace
thing to
it.
wine I've ever like actually drank and liked was fucking oh, what's the? It's like wine, but it's really like grape juice. What is that?
Stella Rose.
Rosé,
No.
probably.
No, it wasn't rosé.
Sangria?
Sangria, yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
sangria
yeah, yeah.
barely counts.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm
just-
saying. Like,
that's a
I
fruit
would
punch.
if you want to consider that wine.
Yeah,
but,
I like the wines that taste like juice.
Yeah, the sangria I had like.
I wanted to feel like a juice box.
yeah.
Yeah, the sangria I had like that whole bottle that night. That
Sangria
was
is
delicious.
good. Sangria
Yeah.
is really good.
And that was
I like-
nice because like I didn't have a hangover the next day. Had like a decent buzz going, and I had like it was good.
Yeah, I like whites and Moscatos and
I
rosé.
can't
So
do
does
white.
Sabrina.
I
She
can't
likes
do
I'm
the
not
white.
a. I'm not. I mean, if I'm gonna go, if there's a red and a white and there's no other alcohol, then I'll do a white. But I'm still not loving it. But if it's like a Moscato, I like a Moscato.
Yeah,
Or
Sabrina
like
likes.
a Prosecco.
She started doing like the pink Moscato, and she like,
Mm.
but then now she just kind of likes just the plain Moscato. But
Good.
They're
And it's nice
sweeter,
'cause-
right?
Mhm.
It's
And
like a
it's-
sweet
yeah,
wine.
and it's nice because she likes barefoot, so it's cheaper. It's not
Mm.
fucking
Yeah.
$40
Solid.
a bottle.
Yeah, I don't need the fan. But yeah, I haven't really ran into a red wine that I could drink without doing the whole like
Yeah.
like ugh.
I found
Going down.
one solid one. It's a Robert Mondavi Cabernet.
You're
That's,
a
yeah,
bougie
motherfucker.
it's like maybe $20 a bottle. We're talking. I like cheap
It
beer and
sounds
cheap
very
wine.
fancy.
But that's the only one I found where I would go to that to drink it.
Tried
I
the
just
Snoop Dogg
imagine
wine?
your home has like fine wines and
Nope.
whiskey.
No. My parents are definitely wine people,
I can see that
but they
from what I
like
remember of
Your mom's a
elementary
wine
school.
person.
good picture. Good
Your
picture.
mom's a wine person.
I can
No,
see
my
your
dad's
mom.
been drinking a lot of
Well, I
wine
was gonna
too.
say I could see your dad doing it, but I feel like your mom has like always been a wine
Yeah.
person. Your dad's just kind of acquired it now.
Yeah,
'Cause I
It's, like,
remember
been
how-
long
I'm
enough.
too basic. Yeah, I just like that one bottle, and occasionally I'll find another red that's pretty good.
that
but
Snoop Dogg wine.
have it. Doesn't that have THC in it? His
Oh,
one.
have no
I don't
clue.
think
Oh.
so.
I
What is
thought
it like?
they have a wine out of
Oh,
California.
I'm sure that they
does.
do.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
Friggin' Pabst has a hard coffee, or it's like, yeah, I think it's a hard coffee. It's weird. I've never had it. I've actually heard it's really good. I've never.
I have that. I have a cold brew Jaeger over there that I have yet to open.
Isn't that the one that tastes like licorice?
Yeah.
Oh,
You mix it with get some freaking.
Mountain Dew.
No,
What?
I was. Oh yeah, Jaeger and Mountain Dew's bomb. But I was
It's
thinking.
amazing.
I was thinking Red Bull. The
Oh,
Jaeger
Jaeger
bomb?
bombs.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs are delicious.
Solid.
Oh, dude, that's how you keep going all night. It's awesome.
I
I
like
think-
Vegas bombs.
What is that?
It's Red Bull and then a shot, and then I think the shot is peach schnapps and then something else.
It's something like that. Like
It's delicious though.
I've heard
Look it
they're
up.
pretty similar. They pretty much do the same thing. It just kind of
It's
depends on
like-
what your taste is. Because I mean, I like because like for me, when you have when I have a Jaeger bomb, I don't really taste the Jaeger. It tastes more Red Bull than anything else.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you taste a little bit of Jaeger, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I remember up at the cabin we'd have Jaeger and Mountain Dew, and that was pretty good.
Crown Royal peach schnapps and cranberry juice in the
Oh,
shot,
okay.
and you drop it in a pint of Red Bull.
Yeah, it's the same
I
thing
think I've
as
had one of
pretty
those.
much a Jaeger bomb, except
Yeah.
it's just a shot of Jaeger. You just drop in the Red Bull and you
Yeah.
drink it.
Yeah, Jaeger's pretty good. I can get down on some Jaeger. Jaeger and Mountain Dew. I'm telling you, it doesn't.
not what I
It
thought you
does
were gonna
not
say.
seem
It
like it would
doesn't
mix,
sound
but it
good.
is. It's really good.
Yeah. Or like the cranberry juice. That's still a solid option.
Crown.
You say?
Crownberry.
Yeah, you just mix Crown Royal and cranberry juice. We just call it cranberry.
Interesting.
really good
It's
juice,
pretty
too.
good. It's pretty good.
See, now we're going back down to 24-year-old age.
this
We
is
went
all
from-
par for the course.
Yeah, we went from
We're
on
on
the
brand
rocks
now.
to mixing with juice and Mountain Dew.
I love it. Yeah, I love a mix with juice.
The Mountain Dew one is a little.
I would try the cranberry.
It's really good. It just tastes like cranberry juice.
Well,
Not a big cranberry juice.
I love it in cranberry juice.
Okay, we can get a cran grape juice. I've been.
I
fucking
like
with
cran
that.
grape.
Yeah,
I haven't
get
tried the
cran
cran
grape.
grape. Does it work with that too?
I would imagine so. I haven't
You
tried
can put
it, but
anything
like,
with anything.
True.
If it's
But I mean,
Yeah,
good.
if you're crazy.
well,
you know what I
honestly,
mean?
that's the nice thing. That's the best thing about vodka. It goes like you can mix it with almost anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not normally a big vodka guy though.
I'm not
You
either.
just said you
I
drink
know.
vodka.
I will drink his vodka straight. That's the
What's so
one.
special about him?
I think it's just the flavor.
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Where do you find this? Oh, I've seen
Brought
that
me
sitting
that.
over there.
I think you can buy it at Safeway. You can buy it at maybe Bevmo. Safeway would
Certified color
probably be
added. It's
a
fucking
better
clear.
bet.
I feel like Safeway is probably your best bet.
Yeah.
I feel like Safeway is actually really good about carrying like local stuff and everything. Like
Yeah.
not that Winco isn't, but like as far as like hard liquor, I think Safeway is gonna be better.
Murphy's
shot
might
than-
have it too.
Oh yeah,
Murphy's is
will-
good
oh,
about local
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Murphy's will definitely have like
Oh.
Right? Would you say that's earthy? How
I
would you
don't-
describe
it's
that?
a
Natural?
familiar
Botanical?
smell.
Fancy?
It's like a familiar smell, but I don't know what it is. Do you want to smell?
oh, sure.
That's pretty good. If I was gonna, when I drink just vodka, it's that. That's
It
what I
does
would do.
smell like botanical.
And I think it's because it has a flavor profile that's more like a gin.
It actually smells really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does kind of smell like gin.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it. Is because it's
That's
not
what it- that's what the
vodka-ish.
smell
It's
is.
gin-ish.
It does smell gin-ish.
I used to make this raspberry hibiscus gin and tonic. Oh my god.
The only time that I remember having gin was in like I tried it in like high school. And the only thing that would ever come to mind was like it tastes like celery dipped in salt.
Okay.
That's how I would describe it. And I've never had it since because I was like, no, thank you.
Celery dipped in salt. That is an interesting comparison. Okay.
I'm no aficionado such as
Nah.
yourself.
Yeah, I think that's why I
My
like it. is 'cause
flavor
it's genuine.
profile doesn't include the words earthy and botanical. Celery dipped in
Well,
salt.
when you're my age and you
Yeah.
drink it on the rocks, you know, it's
experience.
you expand your
Yeah,
vocabulary.
experience such as yourself.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'll have to try all of these things
Yeah.
that you speak of. Have you ever been to the Lager Bar in Blue Lake?
No.
Have you ever-
I have.
I
I
feel
know
like
where
I've heard
exactly
about
where it's
it.
at though. I've heard things about it. I've heard it's changed a lot since like from back in the day.
Yeah,
But
they've
I've-
got really good stuff there.
Do they like mixed drinks?
Yeah, because like they use like fresh ingredients and stuff like that. And so one time, we went there with Josie and her fiance, and it was like a strawberry lemonade. That bitch was tart. it was lemonade, but it was really good.
Mm.
But it was like very fresh ingredients and very very fancy. I've only gone around Christmas time, so I don't know what it looks like at the regular time.
yeah, I've heard that place has changed.
But in Christmas time, it's really
lot.
cool.
It's from like even just like the 80s or so.
Changed in a good way.
Just in a more like accepting way. Like back in the day, that was like a bar where you'd go to like fight because like it's a lager bar because like out in Corbell, like you know the mill's out there and they log a lot. So
Right.
it was just like when you're
Come right back down into town.
uh-huh,
and
come
just
back
fucking-
into town, spend your check on you know on alcohol or whatever, have a good time. And then I've heard a lot of people. It's just like they just are more accepting now than like back in the day.
The
And I don't know if
fir-
it's different owners or if it's just like they.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The first
exactly.
time we went there, it was lumber hunk night, and
Hmm.
it was a group of people came in, and there was this man. I was loving the vibe he came in and he had like on a fur vest, and then he had no like actual shirt on. He had like the bondage stuff on, and he
I would
was
say
just-
they're more progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
he
pretty
was
much
just
sums
like
it up.
he was the only one dancing. Like, there wasn't a lot of people there, but I was like, you go, sir.
Oh my god.
Go off. You were having a good time, and I'm just going to watch.
Yeah,
I would say that's changing with the times. Yeah.
30 years ago, I don't think that would have
I
happened.
don't
over
think it
there.
would have been
From what I understand,
allowed.
obviously, I haven't, like I said, I haven't been there, but I've heard it's changed a lot since back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Blue Lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool. We haven't ventured. We've gone down there a couple of times, but we haven't. It's far enough. Well, it's far enough that Jake would be like, "Yeah, let's fucking walk home," but a little too far.
Mhm.
And having to interact with like the highway and stuff, we'd have
Yeah.
to like cross over under an overpass and stuff. That's a little too much for me. I got used to the walking in Chico because we would walk like everywhere.
And it's nice in Chico.
Yeah.
That helps.
Right. Yeah. And
And-
I'm not
yeah.
afraid of people on the street. In Chico.
Yeah, in Blue Lake, anywhere in Humboldt, they don't freaking hit you, just keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't help.
But Blue Lake seems a little more safe as far as people go. But
I don't really spend a lot of time in Blue Lake.
I like Blue Lake, it's cool.
it's
It's
a
pretty nice.
it's a cute little area.
Yeah, there's like certain spots of it that are kind of
Yeah, it's like,
iffy, but I feel like the majority of Blue Lake is nice because
It's
like
very like homely.
it's literally 10 minutes inland, and it's always sunnier. At least it's a
Mhm.
little bit warmer over there. Like
Oh, yeah, always.
yeah, I like Blue Lake. It's nice.
It gets cooking over there, and then you like venture like 10 minutes over to McKinleyville, and it's freezing.
Yeah.
Hit the fog. and
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Even if you go up to McKinleyville, sometimes it'll be nice.
Mhm.
And then you go and you hit Arcade and it's cloudy again.
yucky.
Like last
Yeah.
week, I was making deliveries at some people's places over in McKinleyville, and it was like on Thursday when it was like it hit like 80 degrees in some people's yards. I mean, it was freaking awesome. It was nice.
Yeah, beats living here and then it's just freezing. Yeah. It was pretty nice today though.
Was it?
I'll give it that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little cooler, but the sun was out, so you can't really
Right.
complain.
That's all you can ask for
Yeah.
over here.
Oh, last week it was nice because it was sunny and like warm, but it was just like, dude, it's February. Like it's the middle of February. Like we should not be having
Mm-mm.
this. Like
It should be raining. We should have fog.
dude, the Mad River looks like crap right now. Mad River looks terrible. Like you'd almost in certain spots you'd almost drive across the whole thing right now.
Oh,
it
wow.
sucks.
That's
And it's just
terrible.
like back when like a month or so ago, or maybe a month and a half ago, when we had that big storm. It's like it was flowing really good. Like it was looking really good, and then it's like, yeah, we need that. We don't need. I don't like you couldn't really see any rocks really in the spot that I drove by, and it was nice. But now it's like it's looking bad already.
We've got a fire somewhere down south too, which probably isn't helping.
I mean,
yeah.
allegedly we're supposed to get like a above average rainfall March, is what they're predicting, but we'll see. Because that doesn't mean it's gonna rain a lot. That just
For
means
sure.
it's just gonna. They're predicting it's gonna be above average, which is good. But
Like,
I'm-
above the
like we need a
average.
lot for because like right now fire season is looking worse than ever.
Yeah. It's spooky.
PG&E is gonna be shutting off power again.
What was so funny about that is that like when the PG&E power shutoffs and stuff happened was like during like the campfire and stuff like that, which was down in like Butte County where Jake and I were at school, and our power never got shut off.
Are you
Y'all's
se-
yeah,
oh my
y'all's power
God.
got shut off.
Well, we should be good now because
Ridiculous.
they got that power plant up and running, so we should be okay.
Are we switched on to that?
At least Eureka should be fine.
Oh,
The rest
okay.
of everybody, I don't know, but Eureka should be fine. I think because we've lived at our place now for I think almost 3 years, or a little over 3 years, and we've only lost power once.
We lost it a few times last.
We've
I
lost it
remember
a
I'd be
few
doing
times.
homework and I'd be like, "Well, power's out.
we
Can't do anything now."
Yeah.
lost it a few times out in Blue Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shitty thing is we didn't have dinner yet, and so but our stove is gas, so that
Oh,
was
there you
nice.
go. Yep.
Throw some chicken nuggets on a freaking pizza pan, just like cooking nuggets.
Fry
on-
'em
yeah,
up.
dude. Hit a
Uh,
little different than usual, but it was edible, so that's good.
Not the worst thing in the
yeah.
world.
Beats not eating.
For
Or
sure.
cold nuggets. That's even worse.
There's a lot of people that like, especially customers and stuff. They got like generators and stuff, so they'll just like have it hooked up to their propane tank, and then they're good at least until they run out of propane. But
You know what I've been getting into? Air frying.
I have
Awesome.
heard a lot about
you
air
should get
frying.
one. You
They're
should get one. It's awesome.
Pretty
I got an
sweet.
Instant Pot.
Okay. Is
I
that like a crock
It's
pot?
it's like
I
a crock pot.
Yeah, it's
kinda,
like
yeah.
it's like a crock pot. It's
It
like
just
a
works
pressure
faster.
I
cooker.
haven't
everything is
delved
all it
into the
does.
crock pots yet. I just started getting the hang of the air fryer.
They
I
sound-
never even heard of one until like
The air
like-
fryer.
Yeah, until like probably a year and a half ago, and Super got one for Christmas, and I'm just like, what the hell's that? It's just a black egg looking thing.
Yeah.
It just sits on our on our counter, and I'm like, "What is this?" And we tried it, and dude, it's bomb. Like whenever we have wings, that's what I make my wings in.
I haven't
every
even tried
time.
wings.
I don't
I've just
understand
done
how it
chicken
works.
breast. It's like an oven.
I think it's literally just like it's. I don't know. It's.
But yeah.
I
and
just
you
wish it
don't-
was
you
bigger
just-
because I wish I could make more
Fit
wings
more
at one
stuff in
time.
it.
Like yeah, because like it's just a little basket and it's only like so big, and like I can only fit like 12 wings in there before it's like full.
Yeah.
And then even then, like sometimes they're like on top of each other, so you gotta cook them. Like how I do is like I'll make half of them or put in there for half the time, pull them out, kind of rotate them a little bit, and then put them back in there. But even then, sometimes they're like stacked on top of each other, so they. But
I gotta try making wings in them.
that's good.
I've heard good things. I just do chicken breast in it. And
How
it
long
just,
does it take?
Well, I cook it at 375. So it takes, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes
Dang.
for a medium to large size breast.
I only ever hit like 2 buttons on mine. There's a French fry button that you just hit that. I think it's
Solid.
I think it's 375 too.
Yeah.
But then it's just like you adjust your time, walk away. It's nice.
Yeah. Cleanup's easier than frying it on a pan or
Yeah.
doing it in the oven even. And I can't figure out how to cook chicken on a barbecue. That's the one thing I burgers were good.
Always
Steaks
turns up too
steaks
dry.
yeah, it always
Yeah.
is too dry. And I'm too paranoid. I don't want to eat raw chicken, so I'm like, I'm not fucking with it.
For
I'm just gonna
sure.
burn
No,
the
no,
shit
I don't
out
know
of
who
it.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get a bigger
I
place, I want to get like a
can't do it.
smoker and like learn how to smoke.
Smoker
meat.
would be
That'd
nice.
sweet.
My dad loves his smoker.
I want to get into it. It'd be really cool.
Loves his
Because
smoker.
like smoked like meat just tastes
It's
so
so
much better.
good.
Oh
It
my
tastes so
God.
much better.
His ribs are phenomenal now that since he's gotten his smoker. And he makes like pork loin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious.
My uncle's really good at making food. He's the type like he'll go to bed and he'll like leave a smoker overnight
Uh-huh.
going, but then he'll go out there like 2 or 3 times in the night and like make sure it's all good and adjust the fire if he needs to. Like he like does it really
That's
good.
dedication.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the
Smoke shit
patience for
overnight.
that.
I'm like,
And to wake
15
up
hour
to go
smoke,
do it.
That's crazy.
oh dude, it's awesome.
But it'd be so good.
Oh, it's so good. Have ribs or like he'll have like just drumsticks in there and stuff. Oh, so good. There's people that actually turn like old propane tanks into smokers too.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's dad made an oil drum smoker.
Yeah, it's freaking sweet. And it's just you take the simplest thing, you just clean it really good, and it's just like
Yep.
works.
Yeah, that's all you really need, just to keep the heat in.
Yeah, little valves and whatnot. I don't know.
I don't even know. You said that, and I was just gonna roll with it.
Sure.
Valves, yeah. I mean, it's like a bunch
I
of
know
valves,
that
doesn't it?
I know that it does.
You said
need-
that so confidently too. I was
Well,
like,
it
yeah,
does need
valves,
some.
duh.
I don't think valves is the right
Yeah, I
word,
know.
but like a little thing where like some of the pressure,
The
the
vent.
air, the vent.
Yeah, vent. Dustin knows. He's like, these fucking guys. You don't need a valve. Yeah.
A vent.
I was just rolling with Michala. She said valves. I was gonna roll with it.
Yeah, you can trust my knowledge of.
Yeah, I don't know anything
smoking
about
meat.
that.
That's what I do in my free time.
You put off that vibe. I
Yeah.
can tell. I was gonna actually ask you for advice on a smoker. When
Yeah,
you
I'll
were
give you all my recipes.
Yeah.
And we like it.
That's what I do.
No, air fryer is really good though. Like it does amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Like every time I make pizza rolls, air fryer. Make French fries, air fryer.
Why is it called an air fryer?
I think because you don't don't really need oil for it.
I think it literally just does the same thing as a fryer, like with the grease and everything.
Uh-huh.
Just
Like a restaurant, like
air.
a McDonald's or something. It doesn't have the grease.
Yeah. Technology. I
How
have no
does it
idea.
do it?
I don't know. Like for a lot of things, like when I make pizza rolls and stuff, I'll put tin foil in the basket, and then that way when they're done, I'll like pull them out of the basket and I throw tin foil away, and I don't have to wash the basket.
Ah, there you go.
But when I make wings, like I definitely I gotta wash that afterwards because I'll use like baking powder to kind of crisp them up a little bit. But then like the grease from the chicken will like drip down into the bottom. Not all of it, of course, but like most of it goes down to the bottom. So all the fat and
Mhm.
more unhealthy stuff of your chicken you're not going to be eating it because it'll be in the bottom.
I tried making bacon on the barbecue a couple weeks ago. I thought it'd be faster than baking it.
What?
Damn near caught the whole house on fire. You know, I put it on there. It was
What did
going
you
great. I had
let
like
happen?
20 strips of bacon on the barbecue too. It was ridiculous. because I was meal prepping and I was like, I'll just make it all on the barbecue. I was already
did you
cooking.
have it like on the rack, or did you have it
Yeah,
like
what'd
on
you
like
do?
a
No, I
pan
had it
and,
on the rack, on the
Oh.
actual barbecue.
How did it
And
not
I was
like fall
this is-
through?
Oh wait, it gets better. Like, oh, this is gonna be great because I'm already
We're gonna be
cooking on the
dripping
stove.
grease everywhere.
You'd think, right? Somebody would have thought of that. Obviously not me. So I'm going, I fire it up, got it on there, go back inside to finish cooking on the stove. All of a sudden, there's just smoke pouring by the window, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on outside? And I walk out, open up the freaking barbecue, and there's just, 3-4 foot tall flames spewing out. I close the barbecue. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. So I shut it off. And you know that little temperature gauge on the barbecue? It's all the way in the red. It's as far as it can go. And I'm like,
Danger.
what are the odds this thing blows up right now on me? And so I open it up. Flames are still going. I'm pulling off the bacon to try to get it to stop dripping
You
grease.
gotta save the bacon.
Not helping. There's so much pooled in the bottom. I run inside, grab a towel, and I'm just trying to beat it on the barbecue. And I'm like, well, this
Oh
is it.
my
This is how the house goes up in flames.
God.
That's
Because,
tough.
yeah, you would have thought, oh, bacon has a lot of grease.
Uh-huh.
Probably not smart to put it on the grill, but...
Yeah, that's why you gotta be careful of the spatters.
So, obviously, I probably should not have a smoker because...
I don't think
we're
you,
just-
Well, it sounds like you got a pretty good grasp on the smoking part. It's
Yeah.
just-
The
that
smoke
bacon
comes
was
naturally to
crispy. Yeah, I don't know what... I just thought it would be faster.
Did you try any of the bacon?
I did,
Was it
yeah.
good?
No, it was black. It was burnt to a
Yeah.
crisp. I was like, maybe it'd be, I
Maybe I'm onto something here.
no. And I was thinking, there's not really any way to do that unless you
Maybe
put a
if you-
pan down.
Maybe if you got
like
a
a
baking
cast,
sheet.
like
I was
a
gonna s-
cast iron, even.
It's like if
something.
you try like a baking sheet, because then I feel like that'd almost be the same thing as the oven. I've never tried to bake bacon either. I know people
It's
do
good.
that.
It's
I-
really good baked.
I've never done
It's
it. I'm
super
just
easy.
throw it in the skillet and then we're good.
Yeah,
I didn't
clean,
want to
like,
bake it
everything.
because when I bake it, I'll line
Uh-huh.
the pan with aluminum foil.
Uh-huh.
And I read an article that if you bake aluminum foil, it actually can leach into your food at high temperatures. You're not supposed
Oh
to.
boy,
Yeah.
well I've been doing that my whole
Right?
life.
I was gonna
Welcome
say,
to the
ever
club.
since I've lived on my own, and it was pointed out to me that if you put tinfoil on things and you don't have to wash dishes, I'm just
Yeah, I
like,
was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Great idea. Exactly.
Like-
tinfoil on everything.
oh, dude, yeah.
That's what I would do.
Bake cookies with tinfoil, freaking make my frozen pizzas with tinfoil, put French fries in the oven
Yeah.
with tinfoil. Like, dude,
I don't
no.
know how much. I don't know what and at what
Well,
level
what's
it
it
would
gonna
be
do?
talk. Well, right. What's it
How's
gonna do?
As far as I know, how's
Hey, and are you really gonna live long enough to find out? I
Right.
mean,
I know.
you're gonna spend all that extra time cleaning dishes.
Yeah,
Really, that's a
that's
good
just a
trade-off.
waste of damn time.
I'll do chores, but like dishes,
I'll
I
take-
don't. I hate doing the dishes. Absolutely hate it. Like honestly, like the only thing that gets me through dishes if I'm like I'll throw on like your podcast and listen to it while I'm doing it, or I'll throw up like a YouTube
Aw.
video and put it up,
Support right
What
there.
Halloween?
or like I'll throw like my phone up on my
You get-
microwave.
You get me through the day, man.
I appreciate you just
That was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
when I'm at my lowest. That's a good friend right there. I appreciate you.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't mind dishes. I don't mind. I don't like
Yeah.
cleaning the bathroom. That's the one where I'm like,
Yeah,
wiping
dishes-
down the shower
The,
and
the
stuff.
dishes in the bathroom, that's like I will do the dishes, especially like that's kind of like a 50-50 deal.
hmm
Then like her and I will split that, but cleaning the bathroom, that's 100% her. Not just
Oh my
like
God.
I'm just bad at it. Like that's an excuse, but also the truth. Like I'm bad at cleaning the bathroom. I'll sweep the floors, I'll vacuum, I'll take trash out, I'll do plenty of other like little things here and there. By just the bathroom, that's all her.
I hate mopping and vacuuming.
I don't
Luckily,
mind
Jake
vacuuming. I don't mind
Vacuuming's easy.
vacuuming. Mopping
Vacuum's a lot.
sucks. Mopping kind of sucks.
Yeah, we just got the Swiffer, and it's just like quick. Like our kitchen's so teeny tiny that it's literally just a quick like minute thing.
Yeah.
And then we're good to go.
Yeah, Jake vacuums. Jake actually kind of cleans the house more than godsend. He gets up like 2 hours earlier than I do, and so he's like, I do something.
What does he do for work?
He works for a millworks company. He's a mechanical engineer, and so he
Oh.
works for a custom cabinetry place.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they send in like these businesses, like they've done like an Apple building and a Google building and all this kind of crazy shit. And so they send in like plans of like, this is what we want the room to look like. And then him and his other engineer people are like, it's not gonna fucking work. Let me make it work for you. And then it goes out to the mill, and then they like mill it out.
That's
and it
cool.
gets installed.
I always
That's like a
wanted
very basic knowledge of what it is,
Yeah.
and there's probably way more to it.
in depth.
But there's no need for me to know.
You can have Jake on; he'll tell you about it.
Yeah, right. I've always wanted to work with one of those CNC machines. I
Yeah,
always thought that would be really
he
cool.
gets to do or he doesn't do the CNC machines, but he like interacts with it, and all of the stuff that he produces gets milled out on the CNC machines. He gets all hyped up. He's like, "We got this new CNC machine." I'm like, "That's fucking cool."
I don't even know.
I don't know what that is.
I'm glad you're excited about it,
Yeah.
though.
I'm like, they changed the restraining order paperwork at work. Isn't that cool? And he's like, "That's cool." And I'm like, "See, we're on the same page."
Great trade. Yeah.
I don't need to know the in-depths of what you do. And you don't. It's not necessary.
Just support each other without
Yeah.
knowing. That's all good.
Just a good job and a pat on the back is all I need.
That and those 3D printers. I want to get a 3D printer, but I don't.
Braden used one in high school. He made
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
they're
made that.
cool.
the golf club and pen, I think, is what.
Yeah.
He made.
I
I
think
got
they have one at HSU.
I got a little 3D printed boat in my car.
Oh, nice. Did you print it?
No, Jake did.
Oh, okay.
He's got a little 3D printer.
Oh, nice. Does he like it?
He doesn't use it a lot now. He used it a lot in college, like because he had one, and then our roommate had two, and so they had him. Our roommate had his two set up in the garage, and he was all fancy, and then Jake's just had his set up on his desk in his room, and they did a project where they 3D printed a coffee grinder, like a functional coffee grinder, and so they used it a lot for like their engineering degrees and stuff. But
Oh, that's cool.
but he doesn't use it a lot now.
I mean, it's crazy the way you can actually
build
like.
all kinds of shit.
It's all just plastic, isn't
Mhm.
it? Yeah, it's amazing like what you can actually like create and actually use is nuts. Because like I think it was in high school when I was watching somebody else use it, and it was just watching it do its thing. It was really cool.
It takes a long time, but it's fascinating. If it's a short print, it's really cool to watch because it just is like little. It's literally like little teeny tiny lines of plastic just fucking built up on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. I can't
That's
remember
it.
what it was, but it was like I want to say it was about the size of a golf one. It was just kind of like laying just the lines over each other, and it was really cool. I was like, what the hell is it? It's they use it in like in metal shop and stuff. Plasma cutter.
Mm.
You can. It's kind of the same thing. It's just like you go on the computer, do what you want, and then like it's just literally a torch that it just cuts out. You have like a big metal sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and it just cuts out the design on the computer, and it's really cool. Those things are neat.
Yeah, they're fun. That's about all I know.
I just don't know what I would use it for.
Yeah.
I'd just be printing a bunch of little,
Jake's
little
like
things.
Jake's printed like all kinds of like random shit. Like the boat is like something that I guess is just like what you print first, like for a 3D printer. I don't know. We had so many fucking boats around the house in college. I just have one
He's
that's
just printing a bunch of little
yeah.
boats.
We just had they're like this little. They're little big, little tugboats. And I have one in my car. It says USS Stinky on it because that's what he calls me. And so, but he printed like he has a Nintendo Switch, so he printed like a little box that looks like one of those Mario boxes with like the question mark and stuff
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And it was meant to hold his Switch game, so it has like 6 little slots and with a little top. And so he has that. He printed a Homer Simpson Buddha, so he's got that. He's printed like over the door hooks and stuff for like our towels, so we've got those. He printed like because it's like it's got like its little nozzle thing that like heats up the plastic and like does it in whatever design it needs to, and then it's pulling from like a filament wheel essentially. And so he printed this like chameleon, this like 2-dimensional chameleon that its hand would like help assist the filament going down. And he was like, it's fucking cool. And I was like, sure. I don't know. They printed all kinds of crazy shit. He's printed like carabiners and all kinds of
Yeah, it's really cool because it's just like unless you're like
literally anything.
unless you're like an extreme like hobbyist, I don't think anyone but like someone with like an engineer it would really even like want to have one
There's
or have
really
a
no
need
point.
for one. A need for one.
Yeah.
Like so, like I said, unless you're like an extreme hobbyist, you just like making stuff like that. Then it's like unless you're like an engineer, then it really comes in handy for stuff like
Yeah.
that.
they
Yeah,
made
otherwise
all
it's just
kinds
going
of
to
stuff.
sit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like
Right now it's just sitting.
I mean, I think a lot of it is like it's similar to like woodworking in a way
Mm-hmm.
because like a lot of stuff you can use and like make and
Yeah, a
everything.
lot.
I mean, it's
And it's
crazy.
durable.
Mm-hmm. I guess
As
cool.
long as the
like
print doesn't mess up. But
It's just time consuming.
Yeah, it
I
can
always
take.
kind
Yeah,
of thought it was expensive because I think like a
they're
3D
not
printer
as
to
expensive as.
are they?
I think the price has gone down.
Because they're coming more like mainstream.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah. I know back in the day they'd be. I mean, you could drop like 1,200 grand for a basic one.
I think the hardest part about it is like that you have to understand like the programming in order to like program the
Yeah.
machine to be able to do it. That's the hardest part.
That's
Mm.
yeah.
Because
That's
then
where the
that's where-
engineering comes in.
That's where like the money comes in too. Is like you have to be able. You have to have a like what's it fucking a computer to process like those kinds of programs in the first place, and then you have to know how to use the programs, and then you have to know how to like make the machine and the program work together, and then you have to understand like how it works, because if you bump it or anything like that, then the whole you could have had a 15-hour print, and then if it gets bumped or there's a glitch or something,
waiting.
you waste the whole print.
I think that's what sucks too, is just because like it's maybe they're faster now and they've gotten better now. But I remember in high school, like it took like for Braden's golf club head, it took a while. Like it wasn't like a quick day thing, or it was like it's a
It can
process.
take
Like
a long time. Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
think.
like the industrial ones that are like meant to do something. Are
Yeah, if you wanna
faster.
drop
yeah, like
20 grand, you're probably.
well, I think I want to say they made like 3D printed car that they can drive
Probably.
and everything. I want to say
They're 3D printing houses now.
Yeah. One
thing.
of the capstone projects for Jake, they this group made like a 3D printer with like cement essentially.
Yeah.
And it, like made like a small home.
yeah.
That's
Hopefully those are
cool.
cheaper than an actual house right now.
Here's hoping, probably not.
Stupid.
Market's just all over the place.
Yeah. I'm happy to stay where I'm at for right now.
Are you guys just renting a place out
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
But we get I think we have a pretty good deal for where we're at. The house is not that awesome. It's very cold. But
Do you guys have like a wood stove?
no, we have a wall heater.
Oh, okay.
But we use like another like heater, like a portable heater in there, because it's just fucking cold in there, because like only one of the multiple windows is double pane, all the rest of them are single pane.
Ooh, yep.
And so
That'll do it.
yep, it's chilly. But when it's hot because we're right up on a hill, like right in Blue Lake, and so it gets ripping in the summertime.
It can get pretty cold. I bought that heater because Mary and I did a podcast and it went to like 1 in the morning
Oh my god.
and it was ice cold in here. It was so we were both shaking by the end of it. We're like,
1
yeah,
in the morning. How long were you talking?
Well, we started at 9
Oh.
and it just went. I think
Yeah.
it was either 1 or midnight. Maybe we started at 8 and went to midnight. It was like 4. I
I
think
got
that was
an
a
hour
4-hour
left of that one,
podcast.
so I'll
Yeah,
think about
I
that
know.
one. It's getting down. I don't know.
We
We're
start hearing our
freezing our ass
teeth
right now.
clicking and be like, oh, that's because it was cold. Yeah, so I ran out and got a heater because one and done
Yeah, it'd
with
be
the
cold
cold.
in here.
Yeah,
that late at night.
because it's not sealed off. That's just a garage door. So
Oh,
it's not sealed. I sealed it with foam,
fair.
but it's not. I mean, the air still comes in.
Sure.
So if it gets cold, it gets cold.
That's what's nice about our place is like she'll run the heater more than I ever will. Like I'm the type to grab a sweatshirt and a blanket rather than turn the heater on. But it's nice because like usually when we turn the heater on, it's like nighttime. We're going to bed, so it's like we'll have the heater on. Our place is so small. 10 minutes, I can
Oh, that's
turn it
nice.
off, and then it's nice and warm. Or if she wants to jump in the shower, like, I'll turn it on. She'll jump in the shower, and before she's even out, I can turn it off, and it's like nice and warm in the bathroom and everything.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's not how it is.
Yeah, my spot's like it's the price I pay is really good, especially considering what people are like considering what the place could go for,
For sure.
especially now. But it's still an apartment, and it's still
Yeah, you've got a nice little spot.
no, like it's nice. Like the when I moved in, they like redid the laminate in the kitchen and the
Oh, that's
bathroom.
nice.
They put in brand new carpet that repainted everything. So I mean, it was like essentially a brand new place when we moved in. And it's a 2-bedroom. We pay $750 a month. Everything's included except for PG&E.
Oh damn.
It's-
All right.
It's
So I mean,
a
like,
nice little spot.
Yeah, so like I have it, and it's only a 4-plex. So I only and like
Okay.
so I have very minimal neighbors, and like the managers live right behind us. So there's a problem. Like, so
Right.
it's really nice. It's still an apartment,
Right.
and it's like it's not my favorite thing in the world, but for what it is, it's a really good deal. And
Yeah.
so it's just like, I'm not gonna move out unless I move into a house.
Right.
And right now, it's just not gonna happen soon. I don't
We're
think, because
renting
I'm
it.
not gonna pay someone $1,400 a month or more for a house.
1,400 if you're lucky, right?
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say for a house when, realistically, in my mind, a mortgage for a decent house should go anywhere between like 1,100 to
For
like
sure.
I feel like $1,400 a month on your mortgage should get you a like above average house.
Yeah.
I really feel like. Well,
Yeah.
that was like 5 years ago before COVID and everything else.
Yep. I'm paying $1,300
Are you really?
Damn.
Damn.
for a
2-bedroom, 1 bath.
two bedroom, 1 bath house with a yard, and I can have my pit bull, which is hard to come by.
Yeah, that's more.
But
You've got a great price for what it is.
Yeah,
But
for
it's
sure.
not sealed up all that nice, and it's cold. But there's a place, our landlord owns like all of the houses like on that little hill area, and there's a place right across the fence that's got all double pane windows, and so we're like fingers, and it's only 200 more a month, and it's got flat parking and a flat backyard. Our backyard is hilly as shit, and it's like impossible to like maintain and mow.
Sucks to mow. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're like fingers crossed that like our neighbors that are there right now like move out at the end of the year, and then we'll just hop across the fence.
Obvious, and you guys wouldn't have far to go.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't mind paying 200 extra a month to have like a fully insulated home, not a mud pit in the front yard where we park our cars, at a flat backyard. That would be fantastic. And where we're at in Blue Lake, which is like a desirable area that you pay more out there anyway.
Yeah, and that's more the going rate for a house, 13 to 15. But I mean, you see places going for $2,000 right now.
Yeah.
Rent.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that this is like our settling down point, or I would be more interested in like trying to buy a house, but I don't want to like buy a house here if we're only going to be here for a couple more years.
Are you guys
Yeah.
thinking of staying local?
Possibly, but I don't know. Because I didn't think I was going to like my job as much as I do, and I don't see myself leaving anytime soon, but I also don't want to like tie myself down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the nice thing about is like if like buying a house here is if you were to move, is you just rent it out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the nice thing.
Yeah.
It's just trying to buy a house right now
Right.
is ridiculous. And then like yeah, it sucks.
Well, we'll see what happens because rates are going up, which theoretically should mean that the market should cool off a little bit, but there's nothing normal about the past few years, so who
No.
knows what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays where it's at.
Crazier shit.
It's like what I was telling you earlier, you weren't here yet. The guy pretty much from a different state, almost East Coast, just bought a house, and he bought it sight unseen pretty much. And he was seeing it for the first time today, pretty much. And I was just like, I hate
That's
like
so-
Up in Trinidad.
I'm
That's
like-
so risky.
I'm like I hate
I
that
would
because
never
it's
do
just
that.
like, and it's a home that like I could never afford to buy anyway.
Mhm.
But it was just like people with a lot more money from other states are like buying all the homes around here and because they're for one buying them sight unseen, so they're just potentially wasting money. They don't know for sure.
And
This is
probably
so
full
reckless.
asking price.
or
Probably just give 'em what they
above,
want.
because
Yeah,
there was
or
people,
above.
because I had an old coworker of mine. He was wanting to sell his house. He did sell his house, but his very first offer, it fell through. But they offered him $70,000 over asking price right off the bat because they wanted that house. Ended up falling through, but he still got $40,000 over asking price.
I was looking at
for
a
it, and
place
it's like that's insane.
that came on the market way undervalued. They listed it was a little 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It was a complete teardown. But it had a nice piece of land, and they were asking 150, and the first offers that came in were 250,
Mhm.
without even no proposals, nothing. They overshot it by $100,000 just to try to get it.
Damn.
$100,000 right out of the gate. Just crazy.
Yeah. that
But I
is
mean, if you're
crazy.
coming up from New Orleans or from
Right.
the Bay Area and you've got $500,000 to
oodles.
blow, yeah, you don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, it's only $500,000. Take it.
Well,
Take it.
That's
Fuck
what
off.
sucks. Is just
Yeah.
like all the people from different areas, like the Bay Area, are coming. A lot of them are from Bay Area, and they can work remotely, or they have enough money to where they can come up here and still have, a nice house, but it's like a quarter of the price as it would be down there. But it's just like it's taking away all the houses for everyone who's like lived here their whole life and
Yeah,
can't
we're
buy a
just trying
house.
to-
It just sucks. And then, so for that reason, we're moving out of state. Like a lot of people are going to Idaho, but then it's just like you're taking all the housing and shit up there from everyone. So it's a big,
And it's raising the price. there
Yeah.
for-
Right.
and so it sucks for
It's like a
everybody.
lose-lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how you stop that. Because if everything stays, especially if it stays remote and you have the option to work from wherever you want to work, why go back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like,
and
who
like I
really
think a
wants
lot
to-
of places have seen that it can be done, does work. Like
Yeah, and it works fine.
yeah, Sabrina's sister's like she had to go in to work every single day, and now like she just works out of her guest bedroom, and as long as she works her 8 hours a day, she can clock in whenever she wants, and so it's just like
That'd be the way. And then you could travel. You
Yeah,
could
that'd
go.
be
You
cool.
wouldn't even have to be
Mhm.
tied to a place. You could go do whatever you want to do.
so it's just like people who have the luxury of that. It's like yeah, you can move wherever you want, and it's not gonna matter.
Nope, not.
Yeah, I don't have that luxury either.
Yeah.
but-
Not in my. Not for me. I don't get to do that.
That would be the way to do it, though. If you had one of those jobs, just go travel.
Yeah,
Why
fucking-
not?
Might as well.
Go work from a beach somewhere.
I feel like that requires a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah,
I don't.
because
have
it'd be
it.
way too easy to go down
Just
to
fuck
Mexico and
off.
just go fuck off for a couple weeks. And be like, I work.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I work remote.
I'll get it.
I'll do it some other time. But I mean, that would. How much fun would that be?
That would be nice. Even if you had like, strict deadlines and stuff like that, as long as you, made sure that you get your stuff done. That'd be cool.
And you don't have to sit in an office to do it.
Right. Yeah, the only thing, that would be cool. I don't think that I would be allowed to do that. I think I deal with too much confidential information. Not safe to do it outside of my office.
Yeah.
That sucks about those kind of jobs though. So like you can't. Not safe to do it at home.
Yeah, especially if you're dealing with private stuff
Mhm.
like that. You
Can't just
that gets out. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, Susie, what's her face?
Yeah, might take a turn.
Yeah, like CWS or stuff like that. Like you can't be like,
We'll
little,
just leave this
little
here.
Jimmy.
Yeah. They might frown on that.
Yeah, I don't think that would be good.
Yeah.
Your kids be like, I saw your name on a report. They go,
Yeah, I took a couple screenshots there.
God, that'd be
Yeah.
awful. Yeah, that can't be safe.
I don't know. Hopefully the market goes down, but I wouldn't be surprised if it stays where it is.
I mean, I'm looking at it like realistically. It's just like if it doesn't come down, it's like have to go buy a house somewhere else. Then it sucks because then it's so expensive to live here. It's hard to save up to move somewhere else. And then if it doesn't work out where you want to go, it's hard to come back to California because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
it's
they
like-
say, right?
It's just like I don't know. Hopefully it changes and stuff. Because I mean, like, was it last year or the year before where there's like the first time in however many years that there was more people that left California than came in,
I
and it's
think it
just
was
like.
last year.
And it seems like a lot of people from around here anyway. Like seems like Idaho is a really good place for people around here to move.
Yeah, I feel like it used to be like Oregon, and now it's like Idaho. Like
Yeah,
everybody was
Oregon's
going to
got too
Oregon,
expensive, too.
and then now everybody's like, I want to go to Idaho.
Well, yeah, and like I've heard there's like people who have like visited up there or whatever. They like have signs up there like like
Move here.
welcome, but like leave your
But
ideals at
don't.
home. Like leave your ideals in California. Like Idaho
But
does
please
not
go
want to be.
back.
Yeah.
Idaho does
Spend
not
your
wanna be
money here, but then
California.
please
Yeah,
leave.
but please go away.
Well, I feel like a lot of the people that are moving away from California up to Idaho like have the same beliefs and like ideals, but like that's still taking away like their jobs, their housing market, like
For
all that
sure.
up there. So it affects them whether they agree on the political shit or not.
Right.
It affects them.
Right.
So
Montana seems to be looking
Well, that's
good.
that's where I'm thinking. Montana would be sweet. Montana or Texas.
I think Montana would like be okay for like a lot. Like you could probably buy land up there for a decent amount. It's just it gets cold up there. It gets a lot of
There's
snow.
gonna be some snow.
And it's crazy. But like, yeah, you were saying like for hunting and stuff like that. Yeah, Montana would be a great place to go. It's just
Could go find Kanye.
I think Colorado would be nice too. I think Colorado would be a cool spot. California's just kind of going a little sideways.
I really liked Ohio. Ohio was nice,
I haven't been to Ohio.
but it was just hot and humid, which I
It's
mean
hot?
the whole like East Coast over there just gets really humid. I guess like we went to 3 or 4 different states and it was like humid everywhere.
The humidity is what is the
Yeah,
killer.
it was like 90 and like humid, or like mid to high 80s and just humid. So it was like just real sticky. Which I mean, it was
Ugh.
doable because I mean you're in a t-shirt
That's
and
not
shorts, so it
fun.
was
No.
doable. But like it wasn't.
That's not ideal.
Yeah, it wasn't around. It wasn't like it's when it gets 80 around here. It wasn't. It was a lot different.
Completely different. It'd get
Yeah.
that way in New York, and you just walk outside of your house, and you're just
Stick.
sticky.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sticky and sweaty.
Gross.
Just
Yeah.
for the whole day.
That's
That's
Yeah.
just
disgusting.
Yeah,
At
we
least everybody,
changed.
at least everybody else is like that. Though it's not just
Yeah.
a you problem.
true.
Yeah,
but
we
it's
did.
just a miserable. And then you sit down and you kind of stick to everything, and you're sweating, and then you get up and your skin peels up, and you're just like,
Ew.
this is not how we're supposed
Yeah,
to
we
live.
Yeah, because we went to New York also when we went on that trip, and it was 90 degrees,
Yeah.
100% humidity. The only time it was ever nice is when like we would walk into a Starbucks just to get some AC, get like a free water, and then sit down for a little bit. And then as soon as you walk outside, you're just wet.
We didn't have AC on our campus. They had those swamp coolers out
Oh
of the
my
windows.
god.
So you'd be sitting in class, and it would get rough. You're talking
Ew.
400
I
kids.
feel
Yeah.
like people got to smell too, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, some of the people
Please.
fucking
Oh,
smell.
some people are anti-showers, and I don't know if it's by faith or by whatever, but yeah.
They think they smell good.
Yeah. That's one of the weird ones. Like, it's do whatever you want to do with your life, but if you're going into a common space with people, maybe just put on some deodorant.
Put some
I
common
don't think that's
courtesy, some
I don't
common
think
cer-
that's
yeah.
unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some comments
Ah.
courtesy, yeah.
We had this one class where it was so slammed, people would sit in the aisles because there weren't enough
Like
seats.
on the ground?
Yeah, and this was like a giant auditorium
Oh god.
hall type building, and so they'd sit on the ground in the aisles, and it would probably get high 80s, low 90s, and people would just be sweating, and the class was just a freaking steam room because there's no windows.
Oh.
We have swamp coolers in the
God.
hall behind us, but it doesn't come into the room.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Oh man, you just bake in there, and the smells that would come out of that room were
That sounds
was a
terrible.
safety hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did a lot of moving around that day too. 'Cause we walked like 11 miles that day. So we were constantly moving. Like it was like we went to like multiple Starbucks, got multiple waters, like sat down as much as we could, and like it was a good trip. But it was just like it definitely was a lot because was not expecting it to be that humid over there, like at
Yeah,
all.
it's a
Really,
lot.
like I've heard like down south, you know, like in like Florida, Louisiana, you know,
That makes sense.
places like that, like I've heard that gets really humid, but like up there I was not expecting that. So when we got that, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a different kind of heat.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna imagine if it's from New York all the way down to like Florida of just humidity, I'm just gonna imagine the whole East Coast is like that. Like there's maybe not Maine. I mean, maybe they're not super humid all the way up there in the
Maine's
north,
not.
but I don't know. I don't
They're
know.
too close to
Maine's
Canada.
got their own forecast.
I don't know. Yeah, you want the heat, you just don't want the humidity.
We also
Yeah.
don't want it super dry.
True. I would take super dry over super humid though.
Just because you don't feel sticky all
You
the
don't
time.
feel
Yeah.
sticky.
You don't
That
feel,
You
sticky
feel like
feeling's the
gross,
worst.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd shower and and you take a cold shower, and it was like, and it feels really nice. But then as soon as you get out and you like dry off, it's just like shit.
Stick.
I can't. I would rather be in the cold than be in that, for sure. 'Cause it's just not. It's just miserable.
Yeah, but it's just like Montana. It's like you got multiple feet on feet on feet of snow. It's just like I feel like a lot of their places, like I don't understand how you in the middle of winter have a job where you have to commute to somewhere, even if it's just down the road. Like that's a chore for one thing to even get
Right.
to work. Like shoveling your car out, making sure like your car will start because you didn't. It's not super cold or whatever.
Right.
And then having to shovel your driveway and your walkway and just to even get to work is like no. And then you got driving on this like shit like that is not fun.
I
So
will
it's
say
like-
I do enjoy videos of people slipping on ice.
Oh, how funny are those? Come on.
I don't like it when I do it.
Oh no. Yeah,
But
it's never fun when it's you falling. But
No.
other people like, can get a little exciting. Yeah, or those videos where it's cars and they're just kind of slow.
It's like you're not supposed to be
just
moving.
slowly bumping into other cars going down the road.
Well, I mean that happened with me and Kaz. We went to go visit you in Oregon that first time.
Yeah.
We were on the way home and Yeah, that sucked. We stopped behind
A car bumped into you?
no, I was driving and he was kind of taking a snooze in the passenger seat, and I was following a snowplow. The snowplow decided to turn around and go the other way. And so
Oh,
I
fucking
stopped
rude.
and I stopped and waited for him to turn around, and I
Come back.
very easily eased on the gas, and like I was turned left, and then the car just started drifting right, and then it just, cause I let off and hit. I think I maybe tapped the brakes, but you're on snow and ice, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. So we just slid right into the ditch, right in the front of the car.
Just along for
Oh,
the
no.
ride.
And then we
Yeah,
I
what are
mean
you gonna do?
we got pulled out within like 10 minutes. Someone stopped and pulled us out. So that was nice, but then it was a pain in the ass. It was just like,
That would
was
suck
not
because
it.
it'd just be like a slow doom. Like,
Yeah, and
what
you're
am
just
I gonna
watching
do?
it. You're
Yeah,
like, I can't
do anything.
I can't do
Yeah.
anything.
I hope this
so
doesn't fuck up my car.
literally everything
I
I
hope
did
this
was,
isn't a cliff we're about to go
Right.
off, because
it's
we're
like,
going.
I'd imagine when you were up there having 4-wheel drive helped a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It never snowed. It snowed worse when I was in New York for sure. But we definitely maybe had a solid 5-6 inches a couple times
Yeah.
in Corvallis. The ice was worse for sure than the snow in Corvallis.
Yeah, 'cause I really don't know how much 4-wheel drive really helps on ice.
Yeah, it
really.
doesn't.
I was gonna say I don't think it helps much,
Nope.
but
I'm just along for the ride.
I'm not even sure how much like studded tires really helps. I feel like it does help, but like how much? Because I remember
Probably
Braden,
more than 4-wheel drive.
Because I
For
remember
sure.
Braden had his little Honda Fit, and it was a very small car, but he had like little studded tires on it, and I'd imagine that would
I wouldn't trust that thing. Those
not a
those
Honda
Fits
Fit,
are like
not
a little
Honda Fit.
smart car, you know? It's
Uh-huh.
probably about the same size.
It's a small vehicle,
I wouldn't trust that thing in
but I mean,
rain. I'd be like, I'm not driving this car. We're
Gonna
just
blow
slide.
away.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a slight gust of breeze just carries you off the freeway. That's how I felt. I had this motorcycle for a while, and I hated it was a sport bike, and I hated the feeling of riding down the highway because you catch a gust of breeze, like a semi going by, or you catch the wrong gust
just
of wind. You're
completely just moves you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just shake me like,
yikes.
didn't like that.
Well,
I
it's like
didn't do
Not
that.
I'll
okay.
be driving home in my truck, and like the wind off the bay would be coming through like the eucalyptus trees over by
Mhm.
Harper
It's
Ford.
hard sometimes.
And then,
get blown
and then
around.
it'll sit there and like just blow. I'm like, okay, well shit. I'm like, it's not the biggest truck on the road, but it's a half-ton
Yeah, you should
pickup.
be
It's
safe.
just like I shouldn't be blowing me around, but it does.
Yeah, scary feeling.
It goes, yeah, it blows through there. It gets, yeah, it's
Yeah, not a fan. It's
No.
like, not my style. I think
No.
we're okay.
I don't prefer that.
Yeah,
I just like to drive straight, please.
yeah.
When motorcycles are doing it, did you ever go like at a red light? Did you ever go in between cars?
Lane split.
Mm-hmm. Or did you always just kind of know your
Ah,
role? and just
Were you
kinda-
nice?
Was that nice? I don't think I ever lane split because you don't really need to around here.
because it happened to me on the way home from work, and like it didn't necessarily bother me a whole lot because I'm
It
just like,
scares me sometimes.
it
when
never
they're
like,
"Wah!"
yeah, I never think they're an asshole for doing it because I know it's legal. So
Yeah.
like whatever. It just like you said, it just seems unnecessary.
The theory behind
like-
it is that it's safer.
Especially here.
And I don't see. I don't get how it's safer.
Well,
I
if,
that
really
doesn't
the
don't.
idea
seem
is
safer to
if
me
you're
at
in a
all.
city and you're on an interstate, it's safer for you to go between the cars because if you're stopped and somebody slams into you,
That's okay.
you're fucked.
But what
So
if
if you-
somebody is like, lane switch?
That's the problem, right? Is people do that and they don't use their blinkers and they don't look.
Or some people are assholes and they will open their door on you just because like
That's fucked.
I've seen that on videos too. For which
Nuh-uh.
I
That's
don't
fucked
understand why. Like that
Why
ruins
would
your
you
door.
do that?
Like
Yeah,
that
you're
ruins your
gonna-
door. But like I've seen
And
people
you're
do
gonna
it.
hurt somebody.
and
That
it's-
ruins your door. Yeah, you get a couple scuffs on your door.
Well, like on the guy that I saw the other day, it was just like he was on his way up to the light. Well, he wasn't stopped yet, and then the light, while he's in between cars, he got like the second or third row back. The light turned green, so then everyone starts moving, and now it's a car moving, a motorcycle moving, and a other vehicle moving, all in like. And it's like, how is that? That's what doesn't seem safe to me. Is like when you get moving, you're gonna cut somebody off, or
Yeah,
you're gonna be
when you
stuck
get-
in between two moving vehicles. Like, and it's like if you bump somebody or they bump you with their mirror, you're gonna fall and you're gonna get ran over.
Right?
Yeah, it seems like
Like-
the margin for error is pretty
So,
slim.
so that's why I'm just like
For
that
sure.
doesn't seem like I would think much rather. I'd rather just stay in the lane rather than lane split. Just because if you make it all the way to the front, you can take off before the cars get
Right.
going and you're good. But like if you get to the second or third row or even farther than that, and you get stuck in between two cars, it's gonna be a lot worse.
And I know that some bikes, I don't know if this plays into it too. Some bikes are air cooled, so you kind of have to keep your bike moving.
Yeah,
And
you
so
said
if you
yeah,
do that,
you
you can
mhm,
diminish your downtime and you're not
right.
stopped at a light for.
And I get that,
It
but
does seem like it. I mean, the problem with being on a motorcycle is there's just
and a lot of people
Yeah,
you're just in danger
yeah, you
constantly.
are.
There's no really safe way
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
you
there's
it.
don't.
yeah, it's just
You have very very it's very fine line that you're riding of like safe and
Dead.
very likely
Yeah.
dead.
When I went down to Sacramento, I saw this lady FaceTiming and smoking a bong while driving. And that's when I was like, I'm not gonna ride my motorcycle down there.
Oh my
We're good.
God.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Just completely oblivious.
How
Stopped at a red light, taking a hit,
Mhm.
talking to her friend. Her friend was on FaceTime on her steering wheel. She had a little mount. It's like, this is not safe.
That's not
This
good.
is not okay.
Don't
What
do
are we
that.
doing? Yeah.
it's amazing how I'm like both this job I'm at and the one beforehand, just being on the road constantly, just being on the highway, roads, whatever, how many stupid people there are, and like it just blows me away.
Just do not pay attention.
Blows me away.
Do not pay attention.
It's I don't get it because like it's just one of those you're looking at them doing something stupid, but then in their mind it makes sense. Like in their mind
they're
it's
like, yeah, this
justified for
is
what they're
right.
doing.
Or they're not even thinking about it.
No.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
Like the amount of times
Not a
like I
problem.
see people like eating or like on the phone because like when you're flagging a lot of the time it was just like you pull up and like they'll pull up and they can immediately go, but they don't know that, so they sit there and they stop and they're on their phone. It's like you wait 2 seconds, you would have seen me flip and you could have went, but now you're gonna sit there for fucking ever. Like get fucked.
yeah. It's a scary thing. Being on a bike it's so much fun, but
Yeah, I
you
feel like when you're
At
by
what
you
cost?
guys-
I feel like when you're by yourself, it's fun. Like this morning, just on my way to work, it was just like got real lucky. There was on the safety corridor for the most part. Cars were half a mile behind me. Cars were half a mile in front of me. I was by myself. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I wish it was like this every day. Like,
Yeah. And around here it's not too crazy because we don't have that many people.
Right, yeah, there's not
But in the
much
city,
traffic.
That's a ballsy move.
But some people are stupid.
Yeah.
well, I think a part of the problems around here is like with everyone moving, like a lot of people that move up here, like they city drive
Mhm.
and they think they have to city drive here, and it's like knock that shit off, like
Stop
knock
it.
it off. Like, because it's amazing how many times like you see like 2 cars coming onto the freeway from an on ramp, and then before the solid white line's over, that car behind, like the second car merging, just all the way,
Oh, yeah.
completely all the way over, not just. And it's like that's
Not how it goes.
no, because you know for a fact they didn't fucking look.
No,
half the time they don't have
they're
a
just
blinker on
fucking
or
hoping.
nothing.
Oh no, people will merge without a care in the world. They'll just be like, I'm going, so you
or
better stop.
they'll merge halfway and then they'll be still in that merging lane and they fucking fully stop.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot, and their blinkers just on. Like, if you would have just fucking like kept your momentum
Paid atten-
going,
yeah.
like you would have been let in.
Yeah.
I've seen people drive on the side too, outside of the
on the shoulder.
on the shoulder.
Mhm.
Yeah, just because they didn't get over, and then they're panicking,
ah!
so they're just driving on the shoulder. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is not
This
great.
is my lane now.
Yeah.
It sucks because like it's shitty because when you're merging onto the freeway, you have to like, it's your responsibility to merge in traffic safely,
Mhm.
and but also up to speed.
Yeah.
When you're up to speed and there's not a spot for you to come in,
What
it's
the
just
fuck do
like
I do?
fuck. So like I get it, but it was nice like in the dump truck, just freaking, or even the gas truck. Now it's just like brr, they figure it out.
Yeah.
It's literally you're gonna get out of my because I'm gonna win the battle. So it's just like I'm gonna win. So it's what are you gonna do to help
I'm
me?
Yeah.
not worried about it.
Yeah.
Like there was one time I was training a guy to drive dump truck, and there was a car coming flying out of West Haven just before Trinidad, and he was in the slow lane. Car was coming up in his fast lane really fast, so it's like it wasn't safe for him to merge, and that car was not looking 100% on the phone, whatever. Saw him put his phone down, and I told him blast that horn, just do it. And that car slowed way the fuck down. I'm just like, you idiot. I'm like, didn't even look. And big yellow dump truck just didn't look over his shoulder, didn't look in the mirror, didn't nothing.
None of it.
And it's like, you suck.
You suck.
Some people, man.
I love
Some
when
people
people
suck.
like fly like a bat out of hell in like the safety corridor, and then they hit like like both people in the fast and slow lane are going the same speed,
Yeah.
and they have to like slam on their brakes, and I'm like, I hope you get fucking pulled over. Or sometimes I'll be an asshole, and then they'll try and get in the slow lane, and then I'll be like, nope, I'm gonna keep up with the pace of the fast lane. You don't get to go anywhere.
Or they cut you off, they merge, cut you off, and then just go so slow. It's
I
like,
will ride
what
your
was the point
ass
of that?
if you do that to me.
That gets me. I'm
I
like,
will
you
ride
coulda
your
just
ass.
waited.
I will
coulda just
flick my
passed
lights.
him.
I will
You coulda flashed him.
I will fuck with you. Don't do that.
It really sucks.
What's
like
the point?
the last time we went down to Sacramento, we were going by Confusion Hill and all that
Mhm.
windy twisty stuff. And I'll give them like my headlights are pretty damn bright. But I didn't have my high beams on or anything. But like I see it very often where people like adjust their mirror so my lights are out of their face.
Mhm.
So maybe that's why they were going super slow because it was kind of dark outside. But like literally a 35-mile-an-hour turn, and they're going exactly 35.
I hate that.
Or they'll slow down to 30. Like they're braking going uphill. I'm like, what are you doing? Like I don't get it.
Like we could take that shit at
And we
45 at
finally-
least.
Come
we
on.
finally hit like a passing lane, and then they decide to just for the split, for the first few feet, and they go in the fast
Like,
lane.
oh yeah, we'll go.
And so I pin it, and I'm gonna go around them in the slow lane, which you're not supposed to, but like I'm trying to get out of their way and shit. And then they decided to like merge over, and then I was like so fucking mad. I just pinned it right past them, like get bent. I'm done. I was so pissed.
Some people just do not know how to drive.
I hate
At all.
when they're going slow and then you get a passing lane and they're like, "Oh, the speed limit? I know what it
Yeah,
is
now
now."
we'll go
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
And it's like, "You motherfucker."
You don't drive a Prius, do you?
No.
Okay, because I'm gonna hurt some feelings.
It's your problem.
No.
I don't know what it is, and I don't mean it just because. But it's literally people who drive Priuses don't know how to drive.
I've always heard shit about Priuses.
They don't.
I mean, it's a fair statement.
I really don't know what it is, but like as much time as I've spent like working on the road, flagging, driving, the amount of times I've seen a Prius more than any other car do dumb shit blows me away. Like it never fails. Like it's ridiculous. I think it's just something. Maybe it's something in the contract when you buy a Prius. You just gotta lose a
You
couple
gotta sign
IQ
up.
points or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
It-
drive
You
like
have
an
to drive like an
asshole.
idiot.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a
necessarily an asshole.
requirement.
It's always
Just
idiots. Like they're
dummies.
never an asshole. It's just idiots. And I don't get it.
I feel like it's like a lot of little cars in general.
Yeah, but like I really,
the ones-
truthfully, painfully on it is Priuses more than any other car. Like I'm not bullshitting. It's crazy.
I'd buy it.
It's like the little cars. Well, I used to drive a little car. I drive a little SUV now, so I feel better about it. But like the little cars that it's like if you like going up against like the bigger cars, we're like you're not gonna
Oh,
come
yeah.
out well in the end.
It's not gonna
here.
work out.
If you want to challenge somebody.
Think about that with those smart cars whenever they're driving. I'm like, this piss somebody off in that thing, it's over. It's a wrap.
Just a quick crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Those things are literally it's literally
It's a
a
speed bump.
seat, like a center console. It's a good 4 or 5 inches wide. Another seat, and then you have a trunk that is like a 1.5 feet long, and that's it.
Yeah, you're half sitting in.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like far enough
it's-
back where you're basically in the trunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe driving that thing. I think it'd be fun to kind of zip around
Yeah,
and
they're
kind
fun
of
to
like
be
I feel
zippy.
like it'd be driving like a go-kart,
Yeah,
but,
like take it to a parking lot and try to do donuts or
yeah,
something in
but
it.
like as far as like driving on the road, no, I'm not doing it.
Little
No one
cars
does
and
that.
when they're manuals, those are fun. They're like driving a race car.
That would
Little
be
zippy.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was my car. I had a manual Honda
What kind
Civic.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice little car.
And then I rode that thing till it crapped out on me, and it did. Crapped out on me. And so now I drive a mid-size SUV.
That's cool. You know how to
Little
drive a
more
manual
beefy.
though.
That was I had to learn how to drive one before I could get my license.
Whose rule is that?
My dad.
That's awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
a good rule to have.
I think
Yeah.
everyone should learn how to drive a manual. Like
Useful to
they're
know.
very rare. Like a lot of new cars don't come with them,
Mm-mm.
but some still do. Like they still make Honda Civics that still have manuals and
Mhm.
stuff. So it's just like if you ever get into a situation where it's just like something happens
Yeah.
to your driver who you're in their car who's a manual, you should know how to drive
Yeah,
it. I think
at least
like
the
I think when you
basic.
take a driving test, it should be in a manual.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me take my driving test in a manual, so I had to take it in my stepmom's van. But
I think I took mine in my mom's car.
I had to drive. Yeah, I had to learn how to drive a manual before I could take my license test. and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's awesome. I think that should just be
That was
standard.
my
Like it's
goal.
like even though like they're not very common anymore, coming less and less common. Like it's important to drive a manual, just because if you ever are
Not
in a
as
situation, you
difficult.
know how to drive it. At least, and because the problem with the manuals, every clutch is different,
Yeah, for sure.
and so it's like jumping in your Civic versus like jumping in like Nick's truck is gonna be different,
Yeah,
but
it's
you know
different, but
how
you
to
can
do
get
it.
it. You
The
can get
gist-
there.
Yeah,
the
you
gist
can
is
get
the
there.
same.
Yeah, so that's the only downside about manual.
Yeah, they're all
But
a
like
little
you
different.
know how to get there in case of an emergency
Yeah, I
happens.
know.
You know what to do. Like it's
Right.
not. But like the amount of like, I watched a video and there was like a bunch of like probably people like in their 30s, which I would think a lot of them would know how to drive manual just because like I think back in like the 90s when they were growing up and stuff like that, they would cars were a lot more manual
Mhm.
back then. And a lot of them didn't know how to drive one. I'm like, really? There was like one where it's just like, yeah, like I'm not really like the greatest
But I
at it,
could
but I
get
could
it
I could do
going.
it. Yeah, I can get somewhere. And the other people are just like, no, just flat out. Like I understand the concept of it, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh.
I had people in high school like all the time. One like and nobody knew that you had to drive with like that I had to drive with 2 feet. They were like, "You need both feet?" I was like, "Yeah." Or I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like we would be parked like if we were at lunch or something and they would like fuck with my e-brake and I'd be like, "Don't touch that." And they're like, "You put it in park." I was like, "That's my fucking park."
Yeah. I'm gonna start rolling.
Yeah, I was like, "Don't do that." But yeah, it's not as difficult. I mean, it's like when you first learn, like it's really
The
fucking
learning curve's
frustrating.
there.
But once you figure it out, it's like, oh, that was very simple.
And I
Yeah.
like it more. I think
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know if I'd want to do it every single day, especially like if you lived in like the Bay Area where it's nonstop
Yeah,
bump and go traffic.
San
that
Francisco
would
would
suck.
be
It
rough.
sucks.
That
Yeah,
would suck.
I did an internship where I lived in Sacramento for a summer, and it's a pain in the ass. Like 5
Yeah.
o'clock traffic getting home. It's so annoying.
Yeah, we took a trip in Jake's Mustang one time, and we got about like Petaluma-ish area, maybe a little bit farther down south, and it was like bumper to bumper for probably a good like 20 minutes. And he's like, "Dude, my freaking left leg's killing
it
me."
sucks.
It's a good workout.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stop and go traffic humbles you.
Yeah. You definitely can't wear shoes that you don't want to crease in.
It is fun though, like shifting through the gears and like stuff. Like it is. It is.
I
Fun.
like it. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if I'd want to do it every single day, but like when you and I were talking about earlier about getting a Corvette, like I would want a manual Corvette because I wouldn't drive it every single day. Like I would drive my truck more often.
And
but,
if it's a sports car, it almost
Yeah.
has to be a manual.
mhm.
It's kind of a requirement.
Having an automatic is fun though
Oh,
because
yeah.
I can just go like
It's convenient.
pedal
for
down
sure.
and just whoop. and
Have you ever
just
tried to
take off.
accidentally shift in that car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, well, I find myself more often like when I'm going around turns and I'm slowing down because I would always pop mine back into second, like
Mhm.
because I would usually be going like if I was driving through town or something, I'd be going in third and then I'd pop it into second for like a long turn, and so I find myself a lot of the time when I'm going around turns like my hand goes there, or like when I was still actively driving my manual because Jake's car is also a manual still, and but when I would like in high school, if I would like drive my mom's truck or whatever, or my dad's truck, they would always make fun of me because like my foot would go down, and they're like, "You don't have to do that."
Been there. It's a hard habit to break,
It
especially
is.
when you're swapping back and forth. And you're like, oh wait, okay, we're not.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
not
I don't
shifting
need it.
anything. Yeah. Different feeling.
Yeah, the gas truck I drive at work more often than not is a manual, but like I never get in my pickup from that driving it all day making deliveries. I never jump in my truck and go and press the clutch in. But when I jump into one of the other gas trucks, that's like a push button automatic. All the time, I'm just like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it in my mom's car every now and then. If I'm driving it, I'll be like, oh shit, there's no.
I don't need
we don't
that.
need to push the clutch. We're okay.
That's my
Yeah,
foot rest.
We're okay.
Like my mom, she still drives a manual every single day. I drove her home one time because she had a little too much to drink, so I drove her home, and it was just different because even though I'm used to driving a manual, it's just since every clutch is
They're all
different,
different,
like
and the
getting
engage time is different.
getting it started and everything, it was still kind of a pain, but like never stalled it. It was just like I still ended up just out of pure caution went a back road, just that wasn't as busy, but.
I always just find myself making a little bit more noise. It's just a
Little
little bit
more
more
grinding.
engine revving happening.
I've stalled quite a few times in my lifetime.
Yeah, but like I'm sure it happens every once in a while. But like I'm
Yeah.
sure like when you were on
It'll
your Civic
happen
and you
now.
were in
I'll
your
hop in my
pickup.
truck on just a random day and be driving and then accidentally stop and be like, what the? What was
I
I just
typically
doing?
would do it like if I was stopped at a light, I would like forget that I hadn't popped it in like neutral or something to take my feet off, and then I'll just take my feet off, and it's like, and it's like, ah, fuck.
And then you're sitting
And
there
then I
and there's
look
cars
like an
behind you.
idiot
Yeah.
because all these people, and then of course it's like, oh, it's a girl in a manual, and she
Like,
just
I swear I know how to drive
I
this.
know what
People-
I'm doing.
I feel like a lot of that people see that and they don't know why it's happening.
Yeah,
they just see a car
I guess
jerking
that's
and
a
they're
good point.
and I'm just
You're
like
what was that?
Because
Did we just
sometimes
have an
it's
earthquake?
violent.
like we're people like us who can like when you see that you're like
I'm like,
okay that's the manual, but like you know their pain, but when someone who has never driven one or been in
I
one,
never even
like
thought
they said,
about that. That's a
and they're-
good
I didn't
point.
either.
and they're like, what the fuck?
Why are they shaking their car?
That's
Yeah,
a
I've
good
never thought
point.
about that.
I never thought about that because
Yeah.
every time I see it, I'm like, oh, they stalled.
Especially where most people don't drive manuals. I
Yeah.
bet the population that actually considers
Yeah,
that is
I
pretty
mean
small.
when I was like in my dump truck at the county, and it's like you have like a full load of like material in your truck. Right, you might know it, like right there by the school in Blue Lake.
Mhm.
You're trying to turn like left to go towards the
Yeah.
roundabout, and it's a little bit of an incline right there.
Uh-huh.
Someone gets right, because they're on your ass for one, because you're a big truck, don't want to be behind you. For two, it's a 15-mile-an-hour zone, because there's a school right there, so they already don't want to go slow. But like you're trying to creep out there, and when someone's like coming both ways, and you kind of like fall back a little bit, I'm just like, I don't know whose fault that is. If it's their fault, like
It's
if
theirs.
you
fall
hit
back.
them,
I think it's their fault.
It's theirs. I
Honestly, I
think
think
they
it
have
would
to
be.
maintain a certain distance, and if they don't,
Because that was always one of my biggest pet peeves too. Is like you don't know what kind of fucking car you're behind, like, or
I
how
always give people
experienced that
leeway.
person is. Like especially on an incline. Like if you're on
Yeah.
any kind of incline, like I give it a couple
and
feet.
people get right up on your ass.
That would always
Mhm.
scare
So
me
I'm
too.
like, hey, if I roll, it's your fault. So
Yeah, that would always scare me too.
It's-
Because being on an incline, I'd be like, I hope I don't roll back and hit you because I can't see your headlights no more. You're real close.
yeah.
Now I got a trailer hitch on my truck, so now it's just like if somebody hits me or I back into something, I'm just gonna hit the hitch first.
That's a smart way
before
to
it
do
hits
it.
the bumper. So hopefully that did, because I've only had one person like rear end me, and it wasn't bad at all, but like it was red, and someone was in the back of my truck, and they're like, they're gonna hit you, sure as shit, fucking just move the truck just a little bit. And I got out. It was like right there at the stoplight in Eureka by McDonald's, and since it was red, I got out, like went and looked. No damage or anything was done. But she was like right at the drive-thru at McDonald's, and I was just past it, so I couldn't make the turn. And I told her, I'm like, go into that fucking parking lot. And then I literally not even 10 seconds. I caught that light and the next green light, so no more than 10 seconds. Like of me getting back in my truck, I went around the block. She was gone. Because I watched her turn in the parking lot. She took off, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no harm was done to my truck.
Right.
But I'm just like, it's the fucking principle. Like,
Yeah,
come
dick
on,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
That's rude.
and I wasn't a dick. I was just like, go
Hey,
in
we
there.
need
Like,
to
yeah, it's
Have a
like,
conversation.
it's like I need
You're
to take
kind
a.
of just nudged my truck.
Yeah.
I need to, like, I want to make sure nothing's wrong with my truck, and if it is, I want your fucking ass there. Because now I'm prepared for it. Next time, I'm just gonna get out with my phone and video it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way, like, if they do decide to go away, I have like hopefully their face,
Or at least
the license
the
plate, the
license
type of
plate, for
car. Like,
sure.
I'm gonna do it real quick before that way I have something, because it's nice that if that happens again, I do have the hitch on me. But there's a lot of bigger trucks than mine with a lot bigger bumpers that ain't gonna do nothing.
For sure.
Yeah, so
yeah, if somebody has some road armor on, they're just gonna
yeah.
crunch your bumper. Not a second thought.
Well, it happens a lot too. It's just like one of my ex-girlfriends did that at the mall parking lot. She hit somebody, and she like left her phone number, but did it purposely on like a very illegitimate writing to where like they couldn't make it out. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, come
you
on.
just don't leave a
like,
note at that point.
Yeah, it's
what is
like-
the point?
It's like your heart was semi in the right place, I guess.
You
I
gave
don't
it an
know.
effort. I
Like
guess.
halfway through, you were like,
yeah, we don't really need
I
this.
don't want to.
Don't actually
Don't
call
hold me responsible,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Jesus.
It's like, I don't even like. It's amazing because like even in the parking lots like Target, how
Mhm.
many cars fly through there? Like I was waiting.
Yeah, people
like-
go fast.
Yeah, it's
I'm
nuts.
like,
Not
this
a
is
cure in the world.
Parking lot.
And it's like I get like my truck's a half ton. Like it's not crazy big, but it's bigger than a lot of the cars on the road. So I'll park like more in the back. I don't care if I have to walk farther in the parking lots,
Mhm.
whatever. Like I'll take a spot where there's no one on either side of me rather than being up front and having people on both sides. And
Yeah.
I try and do that as much as I can. Just because I don't want
People
people to open their door and fucking hit my
people
truck. And
surprisingly don't give a shit when they open their door and hit other
Oh,
vehicles.
they just fling it
Which
open.
is so crazy to me because like if there's a car on the side of me, I was just telling my coworkers the other day, I was like, I would rather squish the shit out of my hand because if I can sense that there's potentially going to be contact with my door and the body of their car or their door or whatever, I will put my hand along the outside of that part of my car door, and I have squished my hand many a time, especially if it's like windy. I'll do it, and then my hand will get squished, but I didn't hit their vehicle.
There's
But-
more people like you in the world. I
but-
appreciate that.
But people like in parking lot, I will be in my car and people will just fucking because all of a sudden then my car goes like this and I'm like, are you fucking for real?
And then they'll just keep
and
going.
they don't even like look. Like if I accidentally hit a car, like I take a good 30 seconds to be like, oh shit, and like look and like oh god, and like make sure they're not in the car, like there's not somebody around, there's not damage or whatever. And so, but like I'll look up and they're just like going about their day. And I'm like,
we went to a restaurant last week, and it was like the parking spaces were like very like kind of tight already, and I went between one, and there was like some people waiting to go inside their own car, and we went in, came back out because we had to wait too, and like I just said fuck, I moved like because other cars left, and so I moved to where there was nobody next to me. 'Cause I'm just like it was a very tight space, like my opening my door and then having to suck in a little bit and squeeze out. I'm just like, I don't know if that lady next to me is,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that lady next to me is gonna care as much, and I care about my truck more than she does, so
sure.
I'm gonna move.
Some people just do not care.
Sure.
Do not care at all.
Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks is like I don't want to have to park in like 2-hour parking and like move my car every 2 hours because sometimes I don't have time to, and county parking is so tight and nobody cares.
Yeah, they'll even just backing into your car, and then we're just
Aw.
gonna keep going. That didn't happen. Yeah,
It's the worst when
not a care in the world.
it's the worst to me when I'm like in the car and I'm like I'm literally right here.
I see you.
I fucking see you.
Just watched what happened.
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
I think Sabrina happened to her one time. Like somebody hit their door and hers, and like she just let it. She didn't say anything. She didn't. I'm like, dude, I would. It
I don't
depends how hard it
often,
would
like,
hit.
say
But I feel like I
anything.
would say something for sure.
I don't often say anything, but I like depending on how hard my car moved. Like I had
Mhm.
one time where they hit it and my car literally like woo 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 woo, and I was like, you did something.
Yeah.
Like
There was
that
some
was
damage.
that was hard. Like especially now with like my SUV, or I'm like this is a bigger car to rock around.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not
you
lightly
hit it.
tapping this thing.
Yeah, that wasn't just a tap. Because if it's just a tap, you normally just like hear it. But that moved, and I was like, and then they just fucking left. I was like, are you for real?
Yeah, I haven't had anybody shake my rig yet. I've had a couple people open it and it tinks a little bit. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're still here. But
Well, luckily nothing's ever really happened big time. But there was one time I went camping, and I came back with a dent. No idea how it got there.
Yeah.
It took off like the paint. It was like right in like my
Dang.
It was like right in my fender. It's like I don't know, like it's not quite as big as like a dime, but like it deep. It goes in really far, and it like broke the paint. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like somebody, and I'm like somebody. Like almost like someone threw a rock at it. I mean, it's
Oh.
deep, and it's
Dang.
of such a small thing that it's almost like something that with a point
Weird.
hit it. Like I don't understand, and I'm like, fucking crap, dude. I was so mad.
the worst dent I ever got was when we loaded up my truck to go do a bonfire down at the river bar, and the access that we would normally take, I think it was too steep or it was too muddy or something, so we went down this other way. It was a big truck, and I think you were spotting me and somebody else was spotting me, and I just slid into a tree. We were going down this path, and it just, do you remember that?
I remember I don't know if I was spotting you or not. I remember that happening, but
Everybody was out. It was just me. I think there was another person in the truck with me, and everybody was just out on the sides. Or you might have been down at the You might have been down at the fire. I know, right? And it was dark, and we were going, and I think I was stopped, and I just slid into a tree, and it like crunched half of the door. And I looked out the window, and I was like,
no.
well, I guess, like, I don't know what to, there's nothing we can do
what-
now, so we just kept going, and Checked it out the next morning. It was a nice little crunch.
No.
All right, well,
Well,
that's what it
what's
is.
done is done.
Damage is done.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's all part of the fun, though, right?
I guess so.
I guess.
Yeah, I've never been in a car accident or really gotten hit. Except for my faux
Your
car
little
accident
escapade,
that
yeah.
that I shared with you.
Your little mock car accident.
Yeah, my accident, non-accident.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, we gotta wrap this up because your boy's gotta try to hit the gym. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? It's already 8 o'clock. 8:10.
No?
Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you want to say?
No, I'm not. I don't got anything.
Okay.
Go
I like
on.
that.
Not
Keeps
important.
I'm not important. Kanye,
I don't have,
it
yeah,
simple.
Kanye,
bro,
shape up, my dude.
do something. Something's got to change, man.
Shape up, my friend Kim. My offer still stands. I will keep you anonymous.
She will shield you from Kanye.
Yeah, I'm good.
She'll be your
I'm
protector.
good. I got the confidentiality thing down. I
She's
will
got a
help
spare
you out.
bedroom for you and
I do. It's
Like
very
the
cold.
It's
four
nice
kids.
in Blue Lake,
Bring-
minus the
bring-
single
Bring
pane
all your
window.
Skims blankets, and you'll stay cozy.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, that is a wrap. I'm trying to figure out how I want to end those. Because I know this. All right, thanks, guys. And I was like, I'm tired of saying that.
I
shit,
feel like
so
that
it's
was like yeah, that's how you end it though. Like
That's
every
a
single
wrap.
time.
Well, now I'm gonna end it with saying that's a wrap, and then it's gonna cut to Michaela, and she's just gonna be laughing like, what the fuck was
That's
that?
how you end all
All right,
of
thanks,
them.
guys.
You just insert my laugh
Yeah.
at all of the all the podcasts.
I'm gonna start doing that now. Just right at the end.